What is up? We are back Thursday night. Toss one back Thursday. It's been a week already, so it's time to get our beer on with you all watching. If your first time here, welcome. This is what we do on Thursday nights, 8:45. Kick back, have some beers, have some fun. I don't even know if we can top last week's, because last week's was one of the more classic episodes. If you guys didn't check that out, I would definitely go back and check that out because we had a blast last week. So we don't have Shannon here tonight. Shannon's like, I need a break.
might have been some drunkenness going on. Who knows?
But we'll do it again here. Oh yeah, that was a fun blast, and that's how we like to have on the Thursday. We like to have fun. We're getting to the end of the week. Everybody wants to let their hair down and kind of get into that weekend. So first stop right here, Toss One Back Thursday. Myself, Rajay, my homeboy Todd, and this is what we do. And welcome to all of you guys that have just tuned in. And I am ready for the weekend. I've had a short week, and I'm ready for the weekend. I was off Monday and Tuesday and last Friday. Came back from vacation. Last week, Todd came back from vacation, and work. That's that four-letter word I don't like saying all the time. So I want to be like my buddy and retire at some point.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm already ready for another vacation. I'm not even through the full week yet.
Right.
Off for a week, working a week, ready for another week off.
Can we get that in the Biden package? Everybody gets retired at 55 instead of 65.
Exactly. Yeah? Yes, exactly.
Help us out, Uncle Joe. Help us out.
With the wealth of income that you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
You can live your regular, normal life.
If we're the richest country, show me. Show me we're the richest country.
Right,
Let us retire early.
Exactly.
That's my dream right there. But I'm going to start off with a classic. It'll be a classic tonight. I'm going to actually crack open a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which is one I like to come back to once in a while, just because it's a nice classic from Sierra Nevada. It's got that nice history to it. It's got that feel to it. It makes you always appreciate it when you enjoy one. So I'm starting out with that one tonight for the beginner. And if you're not familiar with the Pale Ale, I forgot what the ABV is on this one. Let's see if I have it on here on the can.
I feel like it's around 7 or 6. 6.5, something like that, maybe.
5.6.
No, okay.
Yeah, we
I
wouldn't.
was thinking it was a little bit higher than normal.
We wouldn't get that on what the ABV. Shout out to Chugs, but yeah, 5.6. Like,
yeah, would he totally blown that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking that one was higher just because of kind of a standard beer, but I felt like it was higher than normal.
Well, if you get that Torpedo Extra IPA, which I had the other night, that's going to be higher, but just nice classics. Just nice classic. You got to appreciate the classics from time to time. And I don't know what you got over there that you're going to be starting off with.
I'm drinking Nitro S'mores Imperial Milk Stout from Southern Tier. It's their Blackwater series. Ale with chocolate, graham crackers, and vanilla flavor. I don't remember if I had this one on here a couple weeks ago or not. I've had this one for a couple of weeks now, I guess. And it comes in at I was thinking it was lower ABV, which is kind of why I picked it up, but it's 10%. You know, whatever. Potato.
Session ale.
Whatever.
It'll get the party started. You'll be all right.
You know.
Oh, I hear that nitro. I hear that nitro going off.
Hear the hissing, and you got to pour hard.
Pour hard.
That's what she said.
Yeah. She said pour it on hard. Show me what you're working with.
I don't know if you can see any there. Oh, you can see it. Yeah, it shows up a little bit. There you go.
A little cascading effect there.
Yeah. See it motoring
now
it's
really coming through. Yeah. We'll give the people, well, you possibly give them a full visual.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
See that there?
Kind of settled down already, though.
Make you all warm and fuzzy inside. Yeah.
Drinking out of my nice Gallant Fox glass there. I picked up a month or so ago.
Yeah, local brewery. Keep it local. Yeah. Get it local. Appreciate the local.
This one does have a nice chocolatey aroma right out of the nose, right out of the can on the nose. Some of that Definitely vanilla-ish and maybe a little graham crackerish. I don't know. I don't remember much graham cracker in this, especially on the smell, but definitely get the chocolate vanilla for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Metalhead, who's going to be going Edward 40 hands tonight with a couple 40s. So there's a game. There's a game that'll get you hammered.
Yes.
Good old Edward 40 hands. Cuff and stuff in the house. What is up, Jimmy? Good to see you, my friend. Happy Thursday to you.
What's up, Jimmy?
Jimmy over in Cuff and Stuff down in North Kakalaka, doing some good barbecue, enjoying some good beer. Metal says malt water label out. Only malt water on malt water. Yeah, you got the malt label out for your malt liquor there, right? Got to tap the bottle.
That's
What's
right.
up, Blake TV in the house? Cheers to
What's
you as
up,
well,
Blake?
homie. What is going on, my brother from another mother? Well, cheers, fools. Go Pack Go. Gilbert's in the house. Big game for the Pack this weekend. Big game against Arizona.
Yeah, they're on right now.
Is Arizona the last undefeated team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, Murray's become a better football player than I thought he was going to be. I mean, I thought he was going to be decent, but I remember like during college, because he was in the Big 12, it was like all going to be baseball, and he switched at the last second to go football instead.
Yeah. He was a big recruit for baseball. Well, he had the chance of what they were saying, a first-round pick.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, you were a baseball player, but if you could go baseball or football, would you choose football, you think? Or baseball? I mean, your love was baseball, so it might be a tough question for you.
Well, probably to get the thing with baseball is like you could be the number one pick overall or whatever, and you may never make it to the majors. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's that way as much now.
Yeah.
Being the quarterback, I would probably go that route because I don't think you're going to take quite the beating as you would normally, especially in today's game where it's so protect the quarterback heavy than it used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would probably lean football, but you're right. It'd be a hard one to play. Me personally, baseball probably because I never played football other than out in churchyard or something, you know.
Yeah.
I never played for school or never played a little league or anything. So.
Oh, never anything. Yeah. I only did a couple years in high school. I was actually
my freshman year in baseball.
I did my freshman year in high school, my senior in high school, and that's just because I was just doing it when I got there and when I was just not as bad. I got more bigger into football after high school. You know, I mean, I watched it as a kid growing up, but to play it, I didn't really have that fondness in high school and stuff. I was pissed off our coaches because our coaches wanted me to play all 4 years, and I would have been starting like at varsity as a sophomore, but it was like, I don't really want to get hit. That's part of football. You got to take a hit. So
right. Yeah.
I mean, unless you're going to be the punter, even a punter is going to get a hit once in a while. So.
I would think. I think being the big time quarterback might have been probably the way to go for him. Obviously now, but.
Well, I look at it this way. You know, you go to big time like he's doing. He's making the dollars, but baseball, if you would have got through, you'd have made the dollars. Plus baseball, you have the guaranteed contracts. I mean, hell. Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid from the Mets. When's the last time you see him on the field, right? So you have the guaranteed contracts, and you're not taking the hits as much. Now, you may have your arm or whatever because he was a pitcher. He'd have maybe some Tommy John or some type of thing that might affect his arm. But money-wise, I think baseball, depending on where you get to and what level, you might make a little bit more out there. But you can stretch your career because, we got guys into their – well – we used to have guys out earlier in football, but now Tom Brady, he's going like 45, that he's like, I'm going to keep playing till I need a walker. So,
right.
I think he's going to pass Vince Evans, who was out there as a backup quarterback to like 44 back in the day on the Raiders. But baseball used to be, you got to 42, 43, whatever Nolan Ryan was when he retired. But it's a different game now. You're right. You don't take the hits as much.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good question. I guess he probably went the opposite direction of what I would say most probably went.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Dion kind of did the same thing. He went football and then kind of went back to baseball a little
You went
bit.
football and baseball for a bit. Yeah.
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 But I think he chose football first and then went
Yeah.
back into baseball, right?
Yeah, he went football. Yeah. I mean, when he got drafted out, he was the Falcons and the Braves. So he was
Right.
able to he did football first and went to baseball. I mean, Bo was probably the best that had done it. And obviously he got injured here in Cincinnati against the Bengals when he lost his thing.
Yeah.
But he came back to the Royals. People forget he did his hip rebuilt. Came back for a couple seasons or so to play baseball.
It was still just as good.
I think if he had hindsight, he may have stuck with baseball. He said he loved baseball more than football from stuff I've seen him talk about. So maybe he would have stayed if he do. He's like the one player that's a Hall of Famer in two sports that won't get in either because he didn't have longevity.
Right.
Which I think he should definitely. I don't know. I feel like they're letting other people get in now that they said they wouldn't get in before. I don't know. I feel like Bo Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame somewhere. Shout out to Metalhead. Thanks for the $10 super chat, my friend. Always appreciate you. Always welcome. Never feel like you have to, but it is always welcome when those do get dropped. So big shout out to you, buddy. And if you don't know Metalhead, make sure to check out his channel as well. So rise the best. Cheers to the MMJ booze, malt liquor, whiskey, stogie, J craft beer, and drink what you like. There you go. Definitely. Always drink what you like for sure.
That's right.
What were you going to say there?
I was talking about Bo Jackson. I felt like he's done enough in football that he should be, I know his stats probably aren't there. Probably neither one though, I guess, technically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. His stats aren't really as long out there. But I remember they said Terrell Davis would probably get in because he only played like 5 or 6 seasons. I mean, he got like, 3 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowls that he played, that he won rings with? I know he won at least 2. I think it was 2 with
Who's that?
Terrell Davis.
Oh, Terrell Davis. Yeah. I think
his career was shortened. But look at Jim Brown. Jim Brown only played 6 seasons. He got out early.
True.
Barry Sanders went, 6 or 7, I think, when he got out. So Bo wasn't that much off.
Yeah, it was early. No.
Yeah. Bo wasn't that much off of it. So, let's see here.
Well, I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe we'll one day.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to definitely see. But I think as time goes by, it could be a possibility. But then, like I said, Bo was, for those that were around at that time to see him play both sports, it was a great, awesome, phenomenal sight to see. We didn't think there wasn't much that Bo didn't know at the time.
No, yeah. Bo knew everything.
Or that he couldn't do. Cheers to BC in the house up in Michigan. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Y'all know BC. Make sure you check out BC. Yeah, you're right, Blake. Todd pulled. Oh well, he pulled out that other beer to try to put my Sierra Nevada down, but that's all right. I got some other things up my sleeve too. I got some other things to share here that I will get him back.
Yeah, that wasn't on purpose. I didn't think this one was that high to start out. Yeah. Totally didn't prepare for that one.
Hey,
but
Steve,
you know I do. It's always right out the gate.
What is up, Steve? Y'all know Steve's channel. Make sure you check him out. Steve over in the UK up late tonight, my friend. So great to have you here. Always appreciate you spending some time since, you're 5 hours ahead of us, about to be 6 after next weekend, I think, right? Yeah. Unless they turn clocks back over there as well. We turn our clocks back the weekend after Halloween. Yeah,
it's a good question. Does everybody do that across the world?
I know they do it at points. I remember talking to Craig last year. At one point, we were like 4 hours, which is the shortest distance that we get. But yeah, for like 2 weeks, they were 4 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
And then got Joey in the house, Square Table, STD. Cheers, homie. Make sure you definitely check out Joey. It's 10 days until the STD podcast invades Cincinnati because they'll be heading down here. So, yeah, let me know when you guys come down. If I can get freed up, maybe I can catch up with you guys, grab a cold one or something as well. Be definitely be good to meet you there. Cheers from Cuff. Gilbert, cheers to Blake. Joey, how are you, sir? I think everybody just knows everybody. It's like talks amongst
A lot
yourselves.
of back and forth. Yeah,
We are
yeah.
talking amongst ourselves. We all know everybody. Yeah.
Carry on. We'll just sit here and drink beer.
Do kangaroos really drink Fosters? You know who doesn't really drink Fosters? People in Australia. They don't really drink Fosters. Find that out. Like, they're like, what is a Foster? So like, well, that's not your beer you drink in Australia? Like, no, like we never even heard of it. Like, yeah, that's out of England.
Kind of like Coronas in Mexico. They don't drink that shit either.
No. Cheers, Blake and Joey. Hey, Blake, how are you, sir? Blakeity Blake, right? Hey, Chris, I am good. Steve just chilling. It's a good way to do it. What's up, Rod X? It's been a while. Cheers, homie. Good to see you back in the house.
Rod X. It's been a while.
Hopefully you're having a good Thursday night, and if you're enjoying something cold, if everybody's enjoying something cold, let us know what you're drinking out there as well. Put the comment in the comment section. I was about to go to sleep, but I haven't seen Rod live in a long time. Well, I appreciate you there. We need to do something like on a weekend where we can get stuff timed out. I need to have like a UK roundtable and get you and Craig and Thomas and everybody, to have like something like that, like a UK version. That'd be awesome. I need to put something together.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Harry and Peter and everybody, and be a nice fun chat. BC said, hey, Steve. Drinking a Melvin. Melvin's got some good stuff. Oh, yeah. Melvin IPA. We've actually had Melvin at a couple of our beer fests, and we can get them at Jungle Gyms now, a few of their beers. Yeah, Melvin's pretty solid.
What can't you get at Jungle Gyms?
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff you still can't get there. I mean,
No, I know. But for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, life's hard. You can't get everything everywhere, but you can do well at Jungle Gyms for sure.
You can get pretty damn close.
As much as I go to beer stores, the one store I dread going to is Jungle Gyms. I know I'm going to spend a bunch of money if I go in there. Because it's not like I'm going to go in there and say, oh, I can't find anything. That doesn't happen at Jungle Gyms. You always find something. So, which I haven't forgotten. I still need to get over there. Speaking of which, for the Big Bad Baptist beers. So,
oh, yeah. Are they out now or?
They were coming out one a week, I think. So I like to wait till they're all out there if possible, because I can get them on one swoop.
Oh, yeah. It's one trip, yeah.
Usually Jungle Gyms will have them there.
Like I said, just keep me posted. If you're able to get a bottle held back for me, I'll shoot you some money over.
Yeah. Schneider Weiss. Hello, Weiss. Schneider Weiss does some good beers. I do like the beers they do. I've had a couple of their stuff, and I know that one's probably pretty solid as well. Nice one, Gilbert. With some whiskey, I would presume, as well, not just a beer. You don't usually have beer by itself, I'm just saying. Pre-rolls, Imperial IPA, and other is Stogie. Nice. Oh, I was cooking my supper, and I fell asleep. 3 hours later, mashed potatoes are effed up. LOL with the chicken tenders.
That sucks.
Little crispy.
Just a little. Spaghetti time.
I am ready for the weekend. Oh, that's a nice head on there, boys. Yeah, get the head on it so you get the aroma out, so you get the nice flavor, you get everything out there, and you're not bloated at the end. You got to make sure you get a head on the beer. Some places, they try not to put a head on the beer, and it's kind of like, can you go ahead and do that again? So, let's see, it's good. Every beer session for Todd after last Thursday. Yeah. It was a classic.
Very true.
It was a classic.
Damn, I'm going to have to go back and watch that myself now. I was like, shit, was it that bad?
It was a classic one out there. A lot of people were having a good time, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start day drinking way too early.
Can you really drink too early? Yeah. Like that's shit. Yeah.
And nobody can't drink all day if you don't start first thing.
Dried out nuggets and whatever mashed potatoes now. Cheers, Blake. I hate Kyler Murray. He gets all the calls and they want him to succeed. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch the NFL really outside of just knowing the bits and pieces, kind of reading information, or I catch something maybe on the news or something like that. But he's athletic. I mean, when we went against him in college, when they went against West Virginia, I mean, he has the moves, he has the skills. So I hope he does succeed out there. But he's a quarterback, so quarterbacks always kind of get calls. I mean, I don't know where Joey's a big Cleveland fan. I don't know if Mayfield's getting all the calls or not, but because it is Cleveland and people don't think that much about Cleveland. But Cleveland's doing a good job this year from what I've seen too. So, but what about here in Cincinnati? And again, I didn't watch the game, but I know people were crazy on Monday about how they destroyed, they were saying, the Ravens.
Oh, man. Beat down. Down.
I mean, it's not like it's a rivalry because I think the Ravens have a lot more years of whipping Cincinnati's butt, but it was nice to see them get a win there. And I guess they're tied for first place.
Yeah. It might be changing. We got the old connection with Burrow and Chase back together again.
Yeah. And they said they were showing earlier, like, their defense, the 5 players they added, like, 5 of them, 4 of them are like only like 5-year players, and 1 is like 6. They got like 3 corners and the defensive lineman. I can't remember the other position, the other guy, but they're all like starters there, and they're like talking about how good they're playing. So,
right, yeah, the defense is pretty good.
It'd be nice to have a winner here.
They bottled up Lamar pretty good last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of people that were here, like seeing a winner, it's like I always said, when they got rid of Dusty Baker, they may regret it at some point because, as much as they didn't win a championship, Dusty always had him in the playoffs. So I'm kind of happy to see Dusty have the Astros in the World Series at this point. I mean, I know people hate the Astros because of the whole banging the trash can gate or whatever you want to call it, but, you know, they're in the series, and Dusty's at the helm, and hopefully they pull it out and they get the win. I'd like to see Dusty get that championship finally. That's the only thing he needs.
I used to be one of those guys that would always get pissed at Dusty. I'm like, God, we get there, but can never win. And then I get rid of him. I'm like, okay, all right. And I mean, they've been shit since. I was like, bring Dusty back. Bring him back. I loathe for the days where we used to lose in the playoffs just to make the playoffs.
Sometimes it's not the goal. The Bengals had the same thing with Marvin. It was like they couldn't get over the hump, but then again, they were in the playoffs every year for like 10 years behind him. So the coach can only do so much. The players have to execute the plays as well. So, which I think that their best year was the year Carson Palmer got injured. If he would have got injured against the Steelers, I think that would have been the year the Bengals could have won the title, possibly. Because when he went down,
didn't the Bengals lose every? Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game in Cincinnati, did he?
No, he never won a playoff game, but he got into the playoffs out of X amount of years. Because at one point he was the most tenured coach, I think, for a period in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be like Mike Tomlin now, or I think it is probably Tomlin. That might be one of the
I think it is Tomlin
in the league. Yeah.
Well, is he there longer than Belichick?
He was there for a while. He's been there a while. I mean, Tomlin took over after. Tomlin took over after Cowher won the Super Bowl, I believe. I think Cowher won the Super Bowl and retired. He took over that next year. So and really, Pittsburgh's only had as head coaches Tomlin, Cowher, Noel, and whoever was before Noel, I believe. I think that's all their head. I don't think they have any other head coaches besides those guys. They're one of the ones that have the fewest amount of head coaches in the league.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. You think about it.
Yeah. The one thing about the Rooney family, they stick with people they believe in. So
yeah.
I remember when people were calling for Cowher and stuff because he kind of dated one since Noel was there, and then he finally got a Super Bowl win. And even they stuck with Tomlin. It took a while, and Tom got the Super Bowl win. So it's not like it's easy to get Super Bowl win for coaches, you know.
Well, just to make it there.
Yeah. Joey says he's not as good as they let on. Gold child. Are you hating on Kyle? Are you hating on him? Joey giving that Cleveland hate out. Got the game on in the background, son. Yeah. Oh, Packers are on. I know you watching, homie. I heard there's actually just talk down. People saying they should trade Jordan Love and get a high value player from. They think Aaron's gonna, if he can work out the contract, he'll be there for a bit of time. Right chance of low stream and a bit of pain. So okay, well, thanks for swinging in, Steve. Hopefully you feel better. I don't know if you have something going on there, but hopefully if you're dealing with something, it gets better for you, my friend. Great that you swung by. Y'all don't know Steve's channel. Check him out. Great beer stuff and things that he does from over in the UK.
So Belichick has been there since 2000.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Tomlin. Let's see. Let's see when Tomlin started in Pittsburgh. So he started in 07 to present. Also, so
Belichick has longer than. So
Belichick's,
he's probably the longest in the league then, and then Tomlin's probably somewhere after him, a couple, if not the second. Yeah, when you think about Belichick,
Tomlin's only 49 too.
Yeah, I think he started young, so we're looking at what you said 07, so it's only been 14 years there.
Yeah,
for him. I remember him like in his 30s or so when he started. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Here was a Bo doesn't know how to rap. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Bo, although I think Bo's I think he's more of a country music star from what I've read or believe. I don't know if he does rap as much. Samson in the house. What is going on, Samson? It's been a while. Cheers, homie. Is that the Buccaneers avatar you're rocking there? No, it's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
That's Wisconsin. I was about to say.
It kind of looked like
it was a pirate.
Yeah. Kind of looked like the feather, out of the cap there.
Yeah.
It did kind of look like a Buccaneer.
I would say from the Big Ten teams, one team I do like watching play times is Wisconsin because they're just like a mangled type of team. It's just like we got these big linemen. We're just going to try to run the ball down your throat for 90% of the game. We'll throw a pass here or there, but we're just trying to beat you the hell up. So I kind of like that smash mouth deal there. Yeah. Funny thing is they do it in basketball too. We're going to just pound on you and try to tire you out.
Mm-hmm.
They will wear you down in basketball. Oh, let's see. Had a whiskey, cooking dinner. That breaks them out later somewhere. There you go. You can only have a certain amount of things happening. Big Daddy in the house. Cheers, homie.
Big Daddy.
Satan's. Is it Satan's Smile? I thought it was Satan's Smile. Double red IPA. Hot Butcher. Packers suck. Or Chicago. Maybe it is Satan's Smile. I can't remember. I remember it being good. I had that one. I did a review on that one as well. And getting a good red ale is not something you see all the time. So, definitely solid.
No, not at all.
Dylan is trucking the cards. So, right now, Packers running all over him. And he said trade Rodgers. Whoa. Yeah. Well, Rodgers, they're saying, I think they're saying maybe to have him, if they can come to terms with him on his deal, I think they can get more for Love, I guess, is what they're looking at. But I don't know. The Green Bay fan base, see what happens up there. You never thought anybody would say trade Rodgers, though.
See how that worked out for the Colts when they got rid of Manning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, that was different, though. Manning was injured at the time. I couldn't blame him for doing that. But when Andrew Luck was supposed to be the next great thing, but still tough to trade away your franchise guy like that, though.
It's always interesting when you see kind of those guys go to different teams, like Tom Brady. Like no one ever thought he'd leave New England, and to see him go down there and win in Tampa Bay, and Joe Montana when he left San Fran went to Kansas City. It happens. These guys leave; they go to other spots before their careers are over.
Right.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes not as much. I mean, people always remember Joe Namath as a Jet, but he went to other team after the Jets, I believe.
Let's see. Yeah, was it the Redskins? No.
I can't remember where did Joe Namath end up afterwards?
Let's see.
Mm, Rams.
The Rams. Okay.
Jets.
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah.
Washington for some reason.
Yeah, he went to the Rams at the twilight of his career, as it says. Yeah. So you talk about early stylish quarterbacks. That was Joe Namath. I just remember that old thing. They commercial. He like had a fur coat on, and so I was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah. He was the gang. He was the OG.
yeah. He was
All
football
these
by
guys
day,
now, and he's
party
like,
by
"Here,
night.
hold." He's like, "Here, hold my beer." Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't going to stop Joe. I still remember that episode of Monday Night Football when he tried to hit on what was her name? The blonde on the sidelines. Now I can't remember her name, but it was basically the thing that got him, his hand slapped by the NFL, although he was actually being interviewed. But y'all, do you remember that interview? And he was just like, "Oh, you were so cute." He was drunk. He was drunk when he was doing it. And it was
Yeah.
like,
I remember seeing highlights, I think, of it.
I would say it's Melissa Joe something maybe. Monday Night Football.
I'm not sure. Oh, I'm sure you can. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come
I mean,
right
once
up.
I say the name, you'll probably remember who it is because. Oh no, that was actually Susie Colbert for that one. That's who it was.
Oh,
yeah, and he was like, she was trying to ask him a question, and he was just like, kind of trying to flirt with her and stuff. You could just tell he was lit though. It was funny.
you were thinking of Melissa Stark at first, were you?
I was thinking Melissa Stark at first, yeah, but she was always good on Monday Night Football too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Bear now to become my bearskin carpet. As a response back to Big Daddy. I hit off the pen boy having wax in the greens. So you're like drinking, vaping, and talking or token. Metal's got the all going. He's multitasking right now.
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah, he's having a blast of a time.
Of his own little party. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, if it wasn't for the way YouTube gets all thing when it don't like you sharing the videos of some of that stuff, I would share the video from back then, but I mean YouTube will block it or something. Yeah.
Flag you and take it down.
But what about speaking of social media, fucking Facebook changing their name to Meta. They're gonna become Meta.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
They announced that today, like really like metadata or whatever, but it's like okay.
I mean, people was actually going to call it that. They're still going to call it Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to change, like a new logo on the Facebook or what they're going to do, but I don't know. I'm like,
might be what's going on with it now because I was trying to get on there earlier and it wouldn't load anything.
Yeah, well, part of it is like they said was like a stock type play because now Facebook is taking on a bad connotation with all this press and stuff happening, but it's like a name change is going to stop people from knowing you're still out there screwing with shit.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, that was Facebook. We're now Meta. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that wasn't us. So Zuckerberg is still going to be the owner?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, he's still the head, I guess, stockholder now, but it's like companies run into trouble. They try to change their name to get away from their image. So we see that happen.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out for him.
Got Bart in the house. What's up, gentlemen? Long day with yard work in the gym. Heading to bed. Cheers. Well, get some rest, my friend.
What's up, Bart?
Yeah, long day. You were home relaxing, so that's a good thing, man. That's when I say relaxing. You weren't at the work. You were working, but you weren't at work. I guess you were doing all home stuff and getting the gym in is always a good thing. I need to get back and do the gym or make a gym here. I haven't fully decided yet, but I do miss pumping the iron, so to speak. But we were talking earlier, and Todd's actually going to a beer fest this weekend. And let me pull it up here. And so the beer fest is actually going to be the Tailspin Beer Fest, right?
Tailspin, yep, Tailspin. Mm-hmm.
Tailspin, and this
Over
is
in
a
Louisville.
look at some of the beers. You guys got a good amount of beers that'll actually be there. Looking at this list, anything you're looking forward to trying?
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure if that is all of them, but it could be. Let me pull it up on my end real quick so
Yeah,
I can see it there, but just not as it's not coming in
nice.
quite
Yeah,
as clear on
we
my
can
end for some reason.
blow it up on this other screen here, see if it goes a little bigger. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, they had a new feature.
Yeah, I want to.
Put ourselves in the corner. Nobody puts us in the corner.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go through these here and see. I'll just start from top to bottom.
Yeah, Alaska Brewing is going to be there, which Alaska does some good beers. And cheers and welcome, Joe, as well. Yeah, they're pretty solid for what they actually do. And I'm with you there. Five Dogs said, but no Jack because Bo can't rap. So look at you dropping the drive call class. Look at you, Gilbert. I know what you're doing, son.
So, Against the Grain is having one. It's from 2019. It's their spiced latte bow and root variant. But I don't remember if I've ever had that one. That one kind of sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of the bow and loops and some of the variants over the years, but I don't know that I've ever had that one.
I like how he did
I
like how he did a play off of George Costanza. It's the Jorge Castana.
Oh yes, yeah.
Bourbon barrel aged Imperial Brown.
They've got some pretty good. Yeah, they've got some pretty good can art.
Yeah, I can tell if I talk.
Because if actually they make a regular Jorge Castana or whatever, like a normal, not barrel aged, and I believe it's a thing. If I'm remembering correctly, you remember the Seinfeld where he's like posing on that couch or whatever?
Yeah,
just like in his underwear. I think it's a play off of that. So I think the can art kind of looks similar to that, if I'm not mistaken. But I was going to say that one too, that barrel aged Imperial Brown. Yeah, that one's intriguing.
They also got an oak aged Keller beer. The oak aged Keller beer could be interesting.
Yeah, they're pulling out some. So also this week's been going on has been Kentucky, which you might know, I guess. Well, no, it's been Louisville Beer Week for all this week. Started last Saturday. So there's been a lot of collaborations going on and different things like that with all the all the breweries around town. So haven't yet been over to any of their events, but I've been following some of it online. Yeah, so it seemed like they've had some pretty good stuff. This coffee stout collab with Atrium. Atrium is a local, which I've been there, and they're probably beer wise might be one of the better ones in the city going on right now.
Yeah,
they're doing some really good stuff there.
That's the Atrium Beans
Atrium Brewing. Yeah, collab with Bean. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I guess Bean might be a local coffee shop. I guess I'm not familiar with them, but.
Well, they got a one mile wide as well, right there. A collab. The Scruffy Outliers.
Oh yeah. So that was probably part of the Louisville Beer Week or whatever. So there's been a lot of. I think just about every brewery did a collab with some other brewery that local. Also, they were doing. I know a bunch of them were doing. Which I think if you go to the very. If you go to the very top of the list there. I don't think this is the beer that all of them are doing, but so Scott Hand was a brewer for I believe it was not Acacia, but Monic died sometime earlier this year. Fairly young. I don't know. I'd say maybe his 40s, maybe late 30s. Hell, I don't know. But anyway, a lot of the breweries doing a collab in his honor. But I thought they were doing all the same beer. But anyway, at the top of that list, Third Turn Brewery, which is a brewing company in Louisville, they're doing a dark chocolate cinnamon pecan porter in his dedication. So that I'm kind of curious in that one too, for sure.
That sounds pretty good.
Let's see.
Joe says, "I am an
course, you
architect." Costanza. That's right. It's one of the lines from Seinfeld.
Of course, then there from your neck of the woods, got Braxton Labs Dark Charge Bananas Foster from 2019, which I'm very interested in that one.
Yeah, that's pretty. Anytime you can get a Dark Charge beer for anybody that's a stout fan watching, do it, because Braxton Labs Dark Charge is a freaking phenomenal on what they're doing with those beers. And
I was gonna say, anybody hasn't seen it or look into it, go back and watch a video of us. I guess it was in 2019, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Me, you, Eric,
when we
Joe,
did all those...
Joe's dad, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doing all the Dark Charge beers that day. Let's see.
That was a fun time. I've never seen a blueberry strudel. I see they got that there. That could be kind of interesting. Braxton Labs comes up with some interesting ones.
So now that one you was talking about with Atrium and Mile Wide, scruffy outliers. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's another one. It's Fall City in Rockhouse Brewing, Scruffy Outlier collab. So I don't know what that beer is. And I'm kind of interested in that one.
There it is. Yeah, Fuffy, Scruffy Outliers. So they had the one they did together.
Yeah, so it's two different breweries. So I'm kind of...
I will tell you this one here from Country Boy Jalapeno Smoked Porter. I would definitely check that one out if I was there. If you like spice, I mean, I had their nacho bait one, and it was really good. So I'm sure that was a nice little heat to it as well. Yeah,
that one is pretty good. Let's see, False City. Oh no, wait a minute. That was Flying Dog has one. The Depraved Will It Barrel Aged Chocolate Stout.
Yeah, that was down here too.
Which sounds pretty damn good. And also right above that one is Flying Dog Switch Doctor Imperial Pineapple. Yeah, Mango Sour. Sounds pretty damn good. I like mango.
Oh, you guys got 50 West coming down there too, which is up here. They got a sweet potato pie brown ale. I would give that a go. I only know one other brewery, that's Black Frog up in Akron, where Chris is at, I think. That they do a sweet potato beer, but I haven't seen other breweries really doing them. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get that up here.
I had one time from, I think, the Beer Whisperer sent John Sharon some beers one time, and it was a sweet potato beer. I forget the damn name of the beer now, and it was decent. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, Flying Dog.
I might definitely have to check that one out.
Flying Dog's actually from Maryland, Joe. But we get a lot of their distribution through here, so I'm sure that's why they're teaming up here in the Beer Fest as well.
Right. Let's see. So going down.
Joe said that's a ton of breweries. Yeah, this is actually one of the, I guess, we have ones that are bigger than this even, but this is kind of a good size one for sure.
Yeah, I think, like I said, they normally do it in February. And I think this one over the years has become like one of the top 10 or 15 beer festivals in the country, supposedly, by, what they say, whoever they are, but what they say
they are
in magazines and shit. Right, exactly. I mean, I don't know how you can put a number on that, but like, whatever. It is a really good one, though. It's a lot of fun. They always have a band that plays, and they'll do a big old silent disco, which they do at Charles also.
Yeah. That's pretty popular.
So it's always pretty good.
Watching drunk people dance and you can't understand what they're listening to can be very entertaining in itself. So, yeah.
So Great Lakes is doing, which I'm not sure. I know I've had their blackout stout, but they're doing a barrel-aged blackout stout.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever had a barrel-aged one for that one?
I don't think I've had the barrel-aged one. It doesn't jump out to me from Great Lakes. I have had their blackout, I believe.
Yeah, that's one of their standards, I think, come this time of year, I believe. But I don't know that I've ever had a barrel-aged.
Yeah, I've never had the barrel-aged. I had the regular blackout, which was, when did I have that? Back in 2017. Pretty decent.
And then right above, oh no, you're down. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
they had a Blackout Stout with mole. I bet that was good. Yeah, I'm just looking there, but people seem to really like the regular Blackout Stout. The average on tap was 398, but the barrel age was 427. So people really must dig
Yeah.
the barrel age version as well.
I'm definitely going to try to check that one out. I probably need to write some of these down just to try to make an attempt, because by the time I get there, I'll be like, whatever, just start drinking wherever, and
we
forget
all go
about
with
it.
the plan, but then the plan seems
Right,
to
exactly. 9 times out of 10, yeah, you forget about it.
Which anybody that goes to a
Well,
beer fest, you should design something so you have an idea of where you want to go.
we're doing the VIP, so we'll get in an hour earlier, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. I guess it's a good thing until a certain point, but
Yeah.
one I also am kind of curious in is Gravely, which is a local brewery over here in Louisville. Also, they're doing they're calling it Gravely Reunited Imperial Stout, Blanton's Bourbon Barrel Age, which Drake's collab, which Drake's is like a restaurant over in Louisville. They got a couple of locations, and they do a lot of beer events, and they got a really good tap list at both locations. So, kind of curious in that one. That one, I mean, in Blanton's, I can't be bad at all.
Goodwood kind of expanded their line. Well, you do have Goose Island bringing the Hell Yeah barrel aged sour and wine barrels with peaches. I would give that a try. The Hell Yeah is actually one I liked that I've had in the past too. Is I'll say one of their fancy type beers, but it's kind of like their Matilda type beer. So having that sour wine with the peaches, I bet that has a nice flavor into it.
I'm also interested in this Howwire Hop to Death Hoppy Pills, which is with Burial collab, which I think Burial is out of Asheville, if I'm not mistaken, right? Isn't that? I think they're big, one of the better ones, considered one of the better breweries in Asheville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think they're probably Burial. Let's see.
I know Burial is supposed to be really good, but I'm thinking it's Asheville.
I've heard their name. Let me go back here because I'm typing on the computer screen. I've heard their name before as being like kind of looked at out there. Asheville, yeah. They're out of Asheville, and a lot of good beers come out of Asheville.
Let's see.
The Gilbert's got the German Weiss continue. The Weissenfeiner Hefe. Very nice. I like some Weissenfeiner.
That one is that's like my Shannon's brother's favorite beer. One of his favorites.
Weissenfeiner Hefe. Yeah.
Yeah. She'll get that one a lot too whenever they have it. Yeah, it is a pretty good Hefe. She'll get that one a lot. She's really big into the Hefes for sure. Another one here is a local brewery, Holsopple, over in Louisville. They're doing a Puffle Fluff Marshmallow Sour with blood orange, raspberry, and mango. That one's intriguing.
Ooh. I was going to say Kentucky Ale Maple Stout. That sounded kind of interesting. Is that the same Kentucky Ale Alltech, basically?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't seen them do a maple stout before. They can be hit and miss at times. I will tell you this: the Mad Tree Gin Barrel Aged June. That's a tasty beer.
I was just going to ask you that one. These Mad Trees.
Yeah, that one is a tasty one.
I was going to ask you about that one, and then if you knew, what's the Sequoia's Gift?
I haven't had that one. That's like a newer one there. The S'more is like
the S'more Gratitude. Okay.
That's that one like your s'more type beer. Yeah.
Also. Let's see.
Triple IPA from Mile Wide, Magic Number Triple, New England. Monic.
Yeah, they've been a collab with a local also.
They got a Scuffy Outlier as well. Monic does with West 6 and Blue Stallion.
So I wonder if that must be, maybe that's the dedication beer to the brewery that passed away, because I know they were all supposed to do a lot of the same beer, I think.
And
that's the, and I think Blue Stallion's out of Lexington.
And for Big Daddy, we got Chicago represented with Moody Tongue. They're going to be here. They're out of Chicago. I've had the
That one
caramelized
sounds
chocolate
good.
churro, and I haven't had the
Oh, yeah.
juice lychee, but the caramelized. I've done
Excuse me.
reviews on the Porter, I think, and a couple other ones. I found them like I don't know, it was like Party Source or Depth, something like that. I was like, kind of interested looking beer, and I picked them up, and they were tasty.
Yeah, we get some Moody Tongue here. I've got one downstairs in the fridge. Actually, I need to actually pull it out and drink it at some point.
Yeah, the New
We do
Belgium
get
Creek.
some Moody Tongue.
That Creek from New Belgium can be a tasty one as well. New Holland has a milkshake IPA with pineapple and marshmallow fluff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'd be all over that one too. Yeah,
That sounds good. Yes,
and they got
for
the
sure.
salted caramel milk reserve they're bringing.
They're doing one of their things they're doing for Saturday, because it's so close to Halloween, they're encouraging people to dress up, but they're also giving they're doing a contest for the best dressed Voodoo Ranger.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I think the giveaway is maybe a New Belgium bicycle or something like that. Maybe, I'm not sure. Some sort of a bicycle or something. I think is the prize for the winner of that one. But also, I think like the best costume or the scariest costume, and a couple different contests for dressing up. I just don't think I dress up, and I don't know. I just don't think I could dress up and just go and have a good time and be. I don't know. Maybe I could. Just not have a good enough costume to go dress up in.
That Prairie Brewing Essence of Brewed Skittles. That's probably a pretty decent sour ale. I've had the Rainbow whatever sherbet or whatever, I think. They did a really good job on that sour. But most people always see Prairie with just stouts, but they do sours and some other things there too.
Yeah. I've had a couple of mostly stouts, but I have had a few of their other stuff.
But I'm going to bet if you do their
barrel solid,
if you can get that barrel aged with chocolate, vanilla, and chilies they're bringing, and coffee, that might knock you in the ass. That's probably going to be a high ABV one for them.
Maybe just a little.
Just a little. And as far as Rheingeist, I haven't seen these ones up here, but the Cigar and Waffle Belgian style Abiel. I mean, I love Belgian style beer, so I would definitely look to try that. But that barrel aged English barley wine is going to probably be nice.
Yeah.
Sour ale.
I'm with you. I don't know that
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a lot of these Rheingeist.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that points out one of the things when you think about some of these beers you actually get, what people get in the store. You don't really get always the full experience of the brewery unless you go to the brewery, because you'll find things like this that they'll have on tap that they're not packaging, which is why it's always nice to pop in and see what's going on.
So we had some of these Scout and Scholar beers back in the summertime at the last beer fest we went to, and I think they're from maybe Bardstown, Kentucky, I believe, down there in Bourbon County, Bourbon Country. But they were doing some pretty nice stuff. I actually had a friend of mine who actually was working for him. I had no idea. Well, of course, I hadn't seen him since before COVID, probably, but not like a super huge good friend of mine, but mainly a friend of a friend. But I know, hung out with him enough, and he's been to the house before and whatever. But he actually works for them, so kind of interested to try that 4 Mile Sour Ale with black currants, tart cherry, and lavender. I don't know about the lavender part, but that's intriguing.
They got the Neapolitan. They misspelled Neapolitan here, but they got that for Sagatuck as well. That's a good one. We've had that one, the vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
And Southern Grist is there with a couple, which I imagine that. Are you seeing any Southern Grist?
I've seen a couple here and there, so it's starting to get up into our area now.
Yeah, so I saw some over at a liquor store by work over in Louisville, and I was like, what the hell? When did Southern Grist come up here? And they had like 5 or 6 different, which I had one on the show. It's been a couple of months ago now, I guess, but I used to try to seek them out when we were going down to Tennessee because, they're out in Nashville, but I could never find them until the last time we went down there. And they're really big on their sours, or as far as like a top-notch sour.
Yeah.
More of a sour than like a 450 North.
You got the Southern
So what about
Tier.
some of these Sweetwater?
Well, I was going to say, you got the Southern Tier cold
Oh,
press
okay, Southern Tier, yeah.
Pumpkin. Joe just did a thing on his channel with that beer. He just did a review on that. So for those of you who know the Beer Patrol, he just took a look at it. And I don't think I've had that version of the Pumpkin.
I don't think that I have either, actually.
On the Sweetwater, the 420 Imperial, I mean, we've had the 420 type stuff.
Yeah.
I've never had the Dank Tank 720, unless it's the old Dank Tank still. Their Dank Tank, they have one called a Hop Hash, which is really good too. So the 720 might be a new version of that, but that's going to definitely have that resiny quality to it that I would definitely check out. Shannon would be like,
I think I've had those. I don't know if
it smells like weed. Like we had the ones at the Beer Fest.
No. Yeah, she didn't like those at all.
Yeah. She didn't like it in that
I just saw
form.
the 420.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, exactly. I just saw the 420. I didn't actually read them, so.
The Sycamore Mountain Candy, I've done stuff on that one. It's an all right IPA. It's not going to be one that's going to stand out versus probably some of these other ones. Like if you got it at a bar, you'd be okay with it. But if it's a matter of finding some of the top ones here, I probably wouldn't have that one up there.
Now, are they from Cincinnati? I'm not familiar with
they're from Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was decent. I would try more of their beers. But I'm just saying that one's your run-of-the-mill IPA. And it's like, if I have all these other stuff on here, then I'm probably skipping that table. At least on that one.
Right. All right. Yeah.
Taps usually does decent stuff.
The pumpkin latte blonde might be interesting. That might be interesting. I'm not going out of my way to get it, but it might be interesting just to see their take on it with a blonde.
The Terrapin Mango Dreamsicle Milkshake, I would definitely check that out. And that Venice Barrel's Oatmeal Stout. I love a nice oatmeal stout with a nice smoothness that's added.
Mm-hmm.
Hobbs Executioner is actually a pretty good IPA, too. The Moohoo, oh my God. Yeah. Have you ever had the Moohoo?
I don't know if I have or not, honestly. I think I have.
It pretty much tastes like a chocolate milk. It's crazy, like
going after the yoo-hoo or whatever.
Yeah, I mean you could drink that and not even you forget there's alcohol even in that one. You could drink a few of those and you'll be feeling really nice. As Cousin Eddie would say, real nice, Clark.
I had the salted caramel Imperial Moohoo.
Oh, that's kind of fancy.
But I haven't actually had the regular one.
That's like
I've seen it, but I've never picked it up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll give one that.
So I might have to check that one out too, then, just because.
That Terrapin Blueberry one made with Major League Baseball player Jeff Francoeur's Blueberry Farm. Like, that's too much wording out there. What the hell are you doing? Just like Jeff Francoeur's Blueberry Berliner Weiss or something. You know what I mean? Cut that shit down.
Right.
Nobody's going to read all of that. Can't get all down in a can. What the hell? I would definitely do the Three Floyds Flemish Red Ale. I'd be interested in that one. Toppling Goliath, of course. Shout out Big Daddy. We know he loves some Toppling Goliath. Mm-hmm. They got a Force Flare collab with WeldWorks. Ooh, that's interesting.
I just saw that. Yeah. Definitely, because WeldWorks has got some great stuff too. So that might be definitely one to check out.
And Upland's got a Bourbon Barrel A's Teddy Bear Kisses hazelnut variant. That'd be kind of interesting. Urban Artifact.
Yeah, they're getting ready to release a new line of their variants for the Teddy Bear Kisses.
Yeah.
May already be out up there, but it hasn't hit the stores yet here. But they're always interesting. I always like to try to get those.
And the Urban
Artifact. Did I send those to you guys last time?
I don't remember.
Any of the variants?
I don't think so.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I did or not. I think I sent some to Joe at one point in one of our trades or something, maybe.
But Urban
I'm
Artifact.
I'm kind of curious in this Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They find out that Urban Artifact will be there with their sours as well, which can be pretty
Yeah.
decent.
Kind of curious in their that bushel apple pie spiced goza from Urban Artifact. That one kind of sounds tasty.
Well, that West 6.
What I was going to say is, that's what I was just going to say. That was what I was interrupting you on. I was like, that one sounds really good.
Yeah. That Hopsided Channel 4 is a pretty solid IPA. Birthday beer is interesting. Vienna Lager is all right. It's basically just your standard mill lager as well. Don't hate it, but it's not good. I'm at a beer fest. It's like I'm passing that. Wiseacre,
exactly.
They gotta get up coffee milk stout for Wiseacre. I did a shorts on that one when I was at one of the stores. That was a tasty beer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one
too. Then need to go through and write some of these down, or screenshot and circle some of the beers. Try to make a effort early on, in our first hour to at least try to hit up.
Yeah. Yazoo hasn't won me over yet. I've had their Hoppery Hazy. It was okay. It wasn't really that great, but haven't had their other ones. In the England Hershey Porter. Usually Hershey Porter's there. Good flavor, but it is pretty kind of thin. So
yeah, I've not been all that overly impressed with them either.
I mean, stuff you can get at any time is almost like get that later.
Pass, right. Yeah, you're there for some of the more specialty beer fest only type beers, or stuff you can't always just pick up, or maybe stuff that you may have had a chance at but you didn't get or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it's a pretty impressive list overall. I'm digging it. I mean, I definitely would have some fun there. It's a good amount.
Hey, still got some tickets left. If you ain't doing nothing, come on down.
That's right. Do we go to Louisville for the weekend? Let's get on Saturday, come back Friday, or come back Sunday rather. Yeah, that's called work on Monday again.
There you go.
They said they got a cider and sour bar there too, which would be interesting. The Bourbon Barrel Beer Bar was a popular spot of will return. An ESPN Lager Lounge, powered by Four Pegs Beer Lounge. You won't miss the U of L basketball game. That's right. Basketball games are this weekend as far as exhibition stuff is on. So,
yeah.
When's the regular season start? Like in November or something?
Indiana's first game is the 9th.
Yeah, so
first regular season game is the 9th. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost that time to have the season kickoff. But as far as,
be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Joe, nothing there from Martin House. I mean, maybe a lot of it is like Kentucky and Indiana, but we get national people that jump in as well, which is great. He said their peanut butter stout is the bomb. I haven't had anything from them. I have to keep an eye out for that. This time of year, fan of Scotch ales. Scotch. Yeah, I like Scottish ales, Scottish style ales, and wee heavies. And those are nice to have. I can drink those any time of the year for the most part, but now I get that little chill in the air. Makes a nice witch. This week I had to turn on the furnace for the first time this year. So I asked the wife yesterday, like, are you cold? Do you want the heat? She's like, if you want to turn the heat on, First she was like, no, but then she was like, yeah, go and turn it on. She's like, she's all bundled up and everything.
Yeah. I think Shannon turned hers on. Let's see, what day was it? Tuesday, I think. She's like, I'm going to turn the heat on. We haven't had it on until that point. Of course, when you first turn it on, it stinks the house up because you got to burn all that shit.
Yeah, you got all the heat and all
from the summer,
the heat and everything. Yeah. And
yeah.
She was in a blanket. I'm walking around I'm like, maybe I'll turn it on.
By the time I got home, she already had it turned off. And we had it back on again until the day I got home from work, and it was 60 degrees in the house. I was like, I'll turn the heat on just for a little bit because it was freaking cold.
Yeah.
And that was with no windows. We didn't even have the windows open. I was like, yeah, I guess I'll turn it. But I was like, I only set it to 65. At least kind of in between. Like, it's not going to get hot and it's not going to be super cold.
Well, I see some of these people get some of these bills they're getting with the gas prices up, and it's like, ooh, how long we want to turn it on for. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But some people are getting sticker shock, it seems. Damn, pumpkin beer feast. Yeah, well, you get a lot of the pumpkin beers are out around here, so if I can say it's that time of year, but really that time of year starts in July nowadays. And they've already got Christmas beers out. Like Christmas beers came out like 2-3 weeks ago. Like I was in his store. It's like, oh, Breckenridge Christmas Ale, Great Lakes Christmas Ale. It's like, I'm not even there yet. Like
I think one of the beer lists or one of the beers on that list, I think was a Christmas ale, but I don't remember whose it was. I think they had a pumpkin beer and a Christmas beer. I was like, okay, so you get both sides of the spectrum, I guess.
Yeah, they're bringing them out already. What's up, Vanessa? Cheers. Good to see you, my friend.
What's up, Vanessa?
Heater has been coming on for 2 weeks here. Well, you're definitely in a colder spot than we are. So up there in Connecticut, it is a little chilly. What is up, Wayne? Cheers, homie. It's Roddy Rod.
What's up, Wayne?
Todd. Cheers, fellas. I have no idea what Todd is doing back over there right now.
I was into watching my daughter's washing some of her clothes or something. She had some sheets or comforter in the dryer, so I was checking it because it was still damp earlier. So I thought I'd turn it back on for her real quick.
Having the right beer around for Thanksgiving is a key thing, Like I posted on one of the things there in the community tab. The Pilgrims stopped basically because they were out of beer when they chose Plymouth Rock. So
that's right.
Beer was a big part of what they had there. What's up, chat? Cheers, Wayne. What are you drinking on, my friend? Let us know if you are drinking on something. Not trying to peer pressure you into it, but it is Thursday night. Here in Texas,
it is what it is.
My in-laws are down there in Dallas, and they're going through some weather type stuff too. So all these weather patterns are kind of shifting around like crazy.
Yeah.
Cheers. It's time for the candy corn ale, son. Has anybody ever seen a candy corn ale? I've never seen anybody actually do a candy corn thing. Now that you mention it.
I haven't either. I don't
kind of
think
surprising. Jeff's in the house. What's going on, Jeff? Cheers. Had the best pumpkin beer from the only Trappist brewery in the U.S., Spencer. Nice. Yeah, they are the only one here in the U.S., and we actually can get Spencer Trappist beer. I need to do some reviews on their beers. Called Monster Mash. Oh, look at that wordplay.
Monster Mash. That's pretty good, though. The Spencer is pretty good.
Got the Affy Tapple Caramel. Sounds interesting. Cheers, Wayne. And candy corn vodka jello shots. Is that something you're thinking of creating? Because I haven't seen those out there before. Although, Vanessa, I'm sure you can create it. Iyer Celebration out Bakken to blew my mind. The Iyer Celebration is a nice beer or celebrator. I enjoy those. I've actually got a couple of the little goat trinkets I usually keep when I drink those over there on the shelf behind me with the other beer stuff. But it is a nice one to kick back and enjoy for sure. Little pumpkin stout action going on tonight. Very nice. So I actually poured another beer while we were going through that beer list earlier. I am now drinking. Shout out to Big Daddy again up there in the Chicago area because I'm still drinking Hot Freaking Butcher. And this is Elder Secrets of the Ancient Past, which you can see the review on the beer channel. But another nice beer from Hot Butcher. This one itself, 7.5%. Double IPA, El Dorado, a Vic Secret hopped for this one. And I dig it. I mean, Hot Butcher, they're not doing wrong. They're making some good beers. So shout out to them for sending that down to check out. And if you get a chance to try Hot Butcher, try them.
Their can art's always really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they use the same artist, I think. So I don't know if they kind of just, hey, we got a new thing. And he just comes up with new designs every time for him or how they're doing it. But I don't know if he's part of Hot Butcher or independent, but he has some pretty cool artwork. Let's see. Vanessa, I'm thinking of a test creation. Well, there you go. I would definitely give it a run. The candy corn vodka stout without vodka jello shots. Turn the furnace into
a
cheese weather here. Not where you're at, Gilbert.
Yeah, no kidding.
Gilbert's like, it's like 5 degrees out there. I can go out in shorts. Yeah. Fucking lumberjack.
Shirtless. No, but I bet if Vanessa tries that, it would probably work. I saw a guy on TikTok. He took a big jar of he took a pack of lemon heads and dumped them in a jar and poured vodka in them and let them sit so it all melted. And he came back and he's like, "Holy shit, that was really good." He's like, "That was damn good."
Well, you want to see,
so that might work. Let it sit for a while.
You want to see some crazy recipes on stuff? Check out Tipsy Bartender on YouTube or on Facebook, and he comes up with all kinds of different drinks, and it's just like, now you're just throwing shit together just to throw it together. Like, how does this? And it just he just does all kinds of different stuff, but it's got some pretty solid videos on there. Cheers, Tyler Rod. CB in the house. Cheers, CB.
Yeah, CB.
Hopefully all is going well. Hopefully you're rocking out in the sauna. Hopefully you're having a better day today than yesterday as well. Not having to put your foot in anybody's arse. Aubrey's in the house. Cheers, homie. Good to see you.
What's up, Aubrey?
Hopefully you're enjoying something nice. Getting ready for the weekend, too. Gummy bears. Well, you going to do the vodka gummy bears? Or are you trying to do the candy corn type thing?
I would try the candy corn if I was you, Vanessa. I've done the gummy bears before. Those things swell up super big.
Yeah, I've done it. I did it with the gummy worms. I did it last time.
Those are pretty good too, but I'm interested in that candy corn.
She came up with the idea, yeah. Iger is a top 3 brewer, in my opinion. I like everything Iger brews. How many brewers can say that? Yeah, I mean, depending on where you run into something, I mean, there's usually probably a majority of brews you go to, you'll find some stuff you don't really enjoy as much. But Iger is pretty solid across the board. No complaints from this guy. Vanessa CB, vodka gummy bears, ACB. We haven't turned the heat on yet, but going to be the 20th Saturday. Probably go on, I would think so.
Yeah, and now's the time.
Well, Big Daddy should have colder air than we have. I mean, we held out for a while. It got really cold the other night, though. So when we got back from Yellow Springs this past weekend, didn't run into Dave Chappelle when I was up there, by the way. But when we got back, it was like, yeah, probably go ahead and turn it on because it was definitely a little bit cooler. And I turned it down today to like 68 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I turned it on today just because it was 60 degrees in the house. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be all bundled up if I don't have to be.
I had to buy a new furnace last winter. We got one. So turned it on. I'm like, is this thing even working right now? Like, it better be working. I just bought it. It's like when it goes from the cool into the heat, it takes like an extra few minutes to get back into that mode or whatever, I guess. So when she said, like, when he was there to put it in, he had to wait like 2 or 3 minutes before it actually kicked in. And it's like, it's so fucking quiet. And it's like, I don't hear shit right now. And I'm like, did I put the right button? What's going on? And then, like you said, you start smelling the heat. And once you start smelling the heat, then you know it's actually running. But yeah. Gilbert, really good there. Double Bach. I had it with the Bavaria pretzel. Very nice. Saw the VA heart docs, the running test, and they're sending me to the heart electrician as well. Hopefully everything is going as smooth as possible there, Vanessa, as they're getting you all set and everything. I got to pick my green ghost peppers with high 20s next week. Oh, yeah. He's like a ghost pepper farmer, CB, now. He's always got the ghost peppers rolling. He did a ghost pepper chili the other day. He said that it got him a little bit, I think. Yeah. I do like some peppers. I like some spice.
There's this guy. And I hate to even keep bringing it up like TikTok, but we watch TikTok all the time. Like Shannon gets me into all those things. But I see this guy pops up and he like does test peppers. I don't know if he like crossbreeds them and grows them and stuff, but he eats them all the time. And he'll just take like ghost peppers and whatever the hot one, just eat them. Like he'll cut them in half to show you the inside, and he'll just sit there and eat them right down to the stem. And he's like, "Yeah, it's hot. It's hot." But he's not like gagging or coughing or anything. I'm like, dude, and he'll tell you, he's like, "Don't try this at home." He's like, "I've done this for years and years and years." I mean, he's a young guy. He's like, "I've done this for a long time. I've kind of built myself up to it. I don't think you can just cut this pepper that I'm." Yeah, he's like, "Don't cut this pepper that I'm eating right now and eat it if you're not used to eating it." He's like, "It'll kill you, like not kill you, literally kill you, but he'll like you'll die from it. Like it'll just blow you up."
He's like,
He'll sit there and chew on it, but he'll chew it, and then he's like, "You got to chew it real small," because he said, "If not, your gut will just feel it." He's like, "If you don't get it really fine to where you can digest it." He's like, you'll feel it completely. So he's like, he knows what he's talking about, but it's funny to watch him because he's just like, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, he's like, I give this one a 7 out of 10 or whatever. You know, the flavor's good. He's talking about the flavor, not even the heat. He's like, yeah, it's kind of hot. I don't know. Like I've had things that are 2+ million Scoville units. This one's, whatever, but it's, it's warm, but it's funny to watch him.
Like, he's like, I can get through it. Yeah.
And my stomach was not just watching. I was like, ugh, you're going to feel it tomorrow. Actually, somebody asked him, he's like, so how does it feel the next day? So he pulls out this big old box of like Dude Wipes. Like Dude Wipe sent him a big thing of wipes and like all kinds of like toiletry stuff. He's like, yeah, a bidet or something. He's like, I got it covered. I was like, oh, geez.
Oh man, yeah, he's definitely burning a little bit there. Yeah, cyborg future. Everybody gets a little part here and there at times. I mean, yeah. When I broke my wrist, I got like metal stuff in there too, and yeah. I think you might be definitely more cyborg than me though. I want some ghost pepper jerky. Ooh, asking for the spice.
Ooh.
Mid-40s here, but the wind is biting some frostbite on my hairy legs. Oh, yeah, you don't want the frostbite. Ghost pepper meat jerky would be tasty. Deer jerky.
I think my brother just made some. I think my brother just made some jerky with some ghost pepper flakes in it.
Did he really? Wow.
And it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty spicy. He didn't use a whole lot, but you didn't have to use a whole lot.
Ghost pepper has become a lot more common as far as spicy things. Like it used to be jalapeno, right? That people always have jalapeno type stuff, but now you see ghost pepper a lot more. Even Burger King has ghost pepper nuggets. Yeah. So I had those, and those weren't even really that hot. Yeah, they weren't bad, but they were they're not too bad at all.
Did you get like 6 or 10 for $1.49 or something like that?
Yeah. Depending on where you get them at, yeah. Yeah, well, no, Burger King for the tenders is like 8 for, like $1.49 or something, or 4 for 99, something like that, yeah. Killer sweet and hot, you just sweat like crazy. Well, yeah, pepper is good for your system. Actually, you get more vitamin C in a jalapeno pepper than you can in orange, they say, so. Everybody said pepper turns out your metabolism as well, so. I mean, olive oil, dip the sauce with a tiny bit of ghost pepper, dip the wing in 20 minutes. You thought you had the flu. That's a good thing or not a good thing, but yeah. Mornings are fun too. I bet after the next day. Coming through. Great outlook. You
see this massive.
Polliner, Salvador Bach as well, another outstanding one. True that.
Ooh, yeah, Polliner. So you just stick your head out the window and you hear this massive scream coming from next door. Like, you had wings last night, didn't you?
Yeah, ghost pepper.
Ghost pepper wings.
Keep it alive with titanium and the skill. You're heading that way. You could be the first Terminator. I wear shorts that was in the 30s. Yeah, I had one of the guys I used to do the radio DJ back in the '90s in college. Um, he always wears shorts, even in the wintertime down in West Virginia when it'd be like 10 degrees coming to the station. He'd have shorts. I'm like, how are you still wearing shorts out there? He was just always used to wearing shorts, Nobody ever knew if he actually owned
Right.
pants. They never saw him in pants. So, I mean,
I've got a friend that's the same way. I'm like, dude, do you even have a pair of pants?
yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I'm like, do you even own a jacket? I don't know. I don't never wear one. I'm like, no, I know. That's why I'm asking. Do you actually own one?
Yeah, Paul or Salvador. I mean, that's the one thing, like, not going this year. I didn't go to Oktoberfest because of all the stuff that was taking place. But when they come over, and I don't know if they came this year or not, because I know they canceled it over in Munich. But usually we'll get like Paul and her over here, and we'll get Weissenfahner and all the German breweries and stuff, which is pretty cool. So you get to try other stuff. Like I don't even go to the American breweries at that time. Husband does snow removal in shorts and sneakers. Up in Connecticut, he's like he's used to it probably, I guess.
See, I can kind of get the shorts for shoveling snow because you'll sweat your ass off when you're all bundled up.
Oh yeah,
snow.
That's a good way to burn some calories. You don't have to go to the gym that day. You're done. Like, go sit in front of the fireplace.
Of course, they also say it's like a high number of men die of heart attacks when they're shoveling snow. It might be for that reason, I guess, or something. Yeah. Yeah, that's a workout like, for sure.
We're always like one more row. Like you're almost there. Like you don't want to quit, right? So when you should step back, we don't usually do that. JV says hashtag Kurt is back. Hashtag heck yeah.
What's up, JV?
Oh, TP and deep fridge helps. I never thought about that, but because they have cool toilet paper. It's better than aloe vera.
Might be needed.
Cheers, JV. Yes. What do you want for Fifi? Oh. This is Hey JV. Cheers, CB. Oh, Vanessa Paul as well. Doing good, JV. Love me some Doppelbock. I hunt those like Belgian ales. Yeah, they're nice. I mean, we actually have a Bock Fest here at the end of February each year. Except last year it didn't happen, and the year before because of the whole COVID stuff. And it's all like different types of bocks, including some of the Doppelbocks and different triple bocks, and people get lit. And it's like a big Bock Fest where they even have like the box like up over 8-10% of some of the ones they actually make for it. So it gets a little crazy. The little effect. Some people don't put curtains up until it's 30 degrees or less.
And JV, I'm just glad Shannon's not here. Yeah, I'm just glad Shannon's not here hearing this, or they'd be in the mail tomorrow to you.
Yeah. That reminds me, JV, I went to McDonald's yesterday, and guess what? McRib is back. They had the McRib on the menu. McRib is back. So started running that video again for JV. Best McDonald's commercial ever.
Mm-hmm.
Finally saw a doc today and one group tomorrow. They need to catch up since the pandemic started. Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of people need to catch up on stuff that are definitely behind or undermanned or whatever you want to say. This whole pandemic thing just sucks.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're telling people to like buy Christmas gifts now. Like, don't wait because
you
may not get it.
Actually, my Shannon's brother, he ordered my father-in-law. I think it was a DVD set. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been Yellowstone. If I'm not mistaken, but he ordered it like a month ago, and he said he just got it like a couple days ago.
Oh, really? It took that long?
Yeah. So he's like, if you need anything, order it now.
Wow. Well, speaking of Yellowstone, after this Sunday, we're a week away come Sunday. So.
Oh yes.
And for the it'll be the 2-hour premiere for that as well. So not 1, but 2 hours as it comes back.
When does the spinoff start?
When does what start?
The spinoff that they're having for Yellowstone.
I didn't know there was a spinoff. Who's doing a spinoff?
Yeah, so it's going to be on Paramount Plus, the streaming network.
Right.
And it's going to be Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and Sam Elliott are the main stars that I know of. And it's supposed to take place before the Dutton Ranch, like how I think they're family of the Duttons, if I'm not mistaken. And it kind of shows you how they take over that whole land or whatever to become the ranch or whatever. So it's like a prequel to Yellowstone. Yeah. And it's supposed to start, I don't know, it's supposed to start sometime this year, I thought.
I haven't heard anything about that one. Do they need a prequel, though? I mean...
You wouldn't think.
Yeah. But I'm going to say it's going to be Faith Hill in it. I'll check it out.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Murray interception and Packers D is beasting. Packers must be up right now on the Cardinals end.
Yeah, they're playing good. Yeah, that's 10-7, but they are balling right now.
Oh, JV's going to do a whole video on McRib being back. That'll be awesome. I look forward to seeing that. Slobber up some McRibs. I used to buy them often. Yeah, people go crazy. I don't know what it is about the McRibs that people go crazy about. I mean, we really haven't identified even what the meat is, but people love them. They love them.
Hey, when's that sequel to Yellowstone come out, or the prequel, or whatever they're calling it? December.
Interesting.
She thinks it's December. Is it Sam Elliott, Tim McGraw, and Faith Hill? Somebody else. You know what the name of it's going to be? Yeah, she thinks it's like 1832 is the name of it, or like a year of some sort is the name of it.
Huh?
She thinks it's December, sometime in December.
Aubrey says internet sucks equals unlimited beer, right? Internet's down. I guess I go drinking. McRib is like lobster nogs at Long John for $1. It tastes good, it's just not real, right? Like nobody really knows what the meat is.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, people get excited.
I mean, who knows what the meat is in the hamburger? So,
right.
Change now, right?
Yeah. I do like Sam Elliott as an actor. Sam Elliott is really one of the coolest actors, and it's funny because I've never actually sat down and watched a Roadhouse movie with Patrick Swayze back in the day. And one of the bars I used to go to, they were trying to explain to me one time, and they're like you never seen Roadhouse? Like I haven't seen Roadhouse, and they're like, you're just like. I guess they call Sam Elliott the cooler or something in the movie. They're like, your character, the way you like handle stuff at the bar, you would be like Sam Elliott's character from it, like the cooler. I guess he's like the guy that keeps everything calm and stuff.
He was really good in the Ranch on Netflix.
He's really good in Tombstone.
Well, yeah. But I mean, he's like a main character in the Ranch. He plays the dad, but he's really good in that. Outside of being the Republican guy that he always brought up every 5 seconds, but it was still funny. He was still funny though. That's a good series.
And who better to narrate the dude, right? So in the Big Lebowski than Sam Elliott. I mean, usually Morgan Freeman's handled all the narration for stuff, but Sam Elliott was perfect for that one. So yeah. It's like if you were to die, you have Morgan Freeman give your what do they do at the funeral? Your what do they call it when you die? The person stands up at the funeral. At the funeral, they give your
eulogy.
Eulogy, like to die, like to have Morgan Freeman give your eulogy, have everybody with that voice, like everybody be all locked into
it. Sam Elliott was pretty good in The Mask too back in the day.
Oh yeah.
With Cher, yeah.
He's always been a pretty good actor.
It always
Never
seems
said
like
they
he's
were
one of those
actual
guys
foods.
though that never look like they age or haven't aged. He's looked old forever, but he's never seemed like he's aged
Yeah,
since.
yeah. He's like put pause on Father Time. He said no one beat Father Time, but he seemed like he hit the pause button. Tom Cruise as well. Like Tom Cruise hasn't
Yeah,
seemed to age
yes,
like for the last 10 or 15 years as well. So
right.
never said they were actual. That's true. No one ever said they were actual food. I don't know. I mean, maybe McDonald's said it at some point, but that's why they can't say milkshakes at McDonald's because they're not actually milk. So that's why they have to say
I mean,
shakes.
does their machines ever work anyway to get
What is
one?
the deal with that? I was just thinking that. Like people always say that I've never had their machine break down at any McDonald's I've been at, but apparently it's a common occurrence across the country.
I guess so too. I don't know. I never
People,
order a milkshake from McDonald's anyway, but
well, they got a Chips Ahoy McFlurry that I just picked up yesterday. It's pretty damn tasty. It's pretty tasty, but
was it? Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
but people always talk about the machines being broken down. And I've seen videos about it being broken down, but like I've never had to run into it. So yeah. And speaking of fast food stuff,
It must be very common.
So there was this thing that happened at Taco Bell. It wasn't our Taco Bell, it was one I was reading about. And I guess there were two people running a Taco Bell, the general manager and one of the employees, and they were backed up. So they closed the inside. Everybody's in the drive-through. But apparently some lady didn't get a burrito on her order. So she came back to get the burrito. They had made it for her. There was an attitude type thing. And the lady like threw the burrito and someone got slapped and the police got caught. It's just like, I was reading an article and I was like, really? Are you sure you're not at Popeyes and not Taco Bell? Like, I felt like this was a Popeyes.
Like, here, now go away. Yeah. Here's your food. Now get out.
Yeah. Possibly
Why
a
you still
Burger
here?
King. Possibly a Burger King, but more Popeyes type feel there. But yeah, even Taco Bell, people are getting crazy being short people. So, are there any McRib secret menus? I don't know. There probably is because McDonald's does have secret menus. There probably is something you can do a McRib with a quarter pounder patty with it as well or something. Can I get a McRib with scrambled egg on top? Oh, yeah, we can do that. I'll cut up a
Sure.
Yellowstone style. Well, yeah, it gets you in. I started out with Yellowstone, first season, second season. I got thrown off or something. I think it was Sunday nights I was watching maybe football or something. Got back into it and then just started taking off. Third season was a great season for it. So I'm hooked into it. So I look forward to seeing it return finally. I also got hooked into the Mayans, which doesn't come back until next year, but I'm looking forward to that too.
I'm still catching up on this last season.
The Mayans?
Yeah, I don't know why we started watching it and then just stopped, but I picked it up without her now. So
yeah, I think it actually does pretty good. I mean, let me know what you're thinking when you get through it. But I'm waiting for that to come back next year, and I'm waiting for what's the name? South Central show.
Snowfall.
Yeah, waiting for Snowfall. That comes back again next year too, I think. So they were all renewed. Yeah. It's just COVID and all that kind of stuff slowed it down on things.
Right. We binged half the season last night of Goliath on Amazon. Have you watched any of that with Billy Bob?
I haven't heard of that one, no.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
But speaking of shows, so
there's only 4 seasons.
Only 4? So it's already over. The show's over?
What is?
Or is it Goliath?
Yeah,
this year just on break. Okay.
No, this is it. Yeah, this season was it.
And then I'm like, if it's over, do I want to get into? Like, people were telling me about watching the Ozarks, and it's like, I thought it ended, and it's like, but it's such a good show. But I'm like, but if the season ended, I'm going to get into it and want to see more. I'm not going to be able to do that. I already know that it's.
Yeah, I thought they were supposed to come out with another season. Is it done?
I thought it was done, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But I
thought there was a new one getting ready to come out here soon.
Speaking of shows, so Sunday it pretty much rained all day when we were in Yellow Springs. So I started watching actually Saturday night, the Squid Game. Have you watched Squid Game yet?
I haven't, but I've heard. I mean, everybody's been talking about it, so I haven't watched it yet. But
It's an interesting concept. I won't do anything to spoil or that, but I'll be interested to see what you think. It's kind of like not as much of the hype as a lot of people are about it and everything like that. It's like it's got some predictability parts of the show that's like, well, this is going to happen or that's going to happen, and it's like you can kind of pick out. And some of the acting is kind of hokey or so. I mean, it's kind of like over the top, like dramatization of the acting sometimes, and the way they do the voices and stuff. So it's kind of like my one friend said I should watch the Korean version with the American subtitles, which is better than the closed caption or the American version that they do, because maybe it's not as drawn out and kind of crazy sounding. But I was watching it and I was like, some of the way they say stuff or the way they act made me think of like some of the funny kung fu type movies and stuff. It's kind of like, you know,
yeah.
Are you like being extra like Will Shatner dramatic here, or what's going on? But it's a.
I saw you started to watch it.
Concept. Yeah, interesting concept.
I saw you started to watch it, and then you got away from it, and then went back to it.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I would agree, Joe. Sam Allen was perfect there for the Big Lebowski. Icebox time of year. Icebox always welcome in my house. I've yet to watch I've never watched Game of Thrones, Vanessa. So you're not the only one.
That's probably one of Shannon's favorites.
My wife used to watch it all the time, but never watched it. Yeah, it was Eulogy that I couldn't think of there. I drew a blank. Oh, Cobb with a TD son. What's up, Paul? PA Brody's in the house. Cheers, buddy. I'm going to be doing an upcoming
10 now. What's up, Paul?
I'm going to be doing an upcoming spotlight with Paul here. Poured up at Erdinger Dunkel. I like Erdinger as well, Gilbert. You got it rolling tonight, son. Tried to order at Popeyes in town. The staff were sitting on the parking lot, garden rail, smoking pot. After waiting 15 minutes to place order, I left. See, that's kind of stuff you run into at a Popeyes. That's a Popeyes type visit. You know, it's kind of like, okay, let us finish this and we'll get your order. Like, no, I want my order now. But, you know.
1883.
The sad thing is Popeyes actually is pretty tasty.
Yeah, Popeyes is good. 1883.
Then Popeyes they're closing all stores. Saw something about didn't invest there. No, I didn't see anything about Popeyes closing any of their stores. So maybe they're closing in certain spots or some different place. Like when I was at West Virginia, I thought Hardee's closed down because we lost Hardee's there, and found out no, Hardee's just pulled out of West Virginia. Was still in under.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So 1883 is that what it was?
Yeah.
And the other actor she was thinking of is Billy Bob Thornton.
For
the sequel or prequel or whatever to Yellowstone.
Oh, he's in it too?
So you got Billy Bob, Sam Elliott, Tim McGraw, and Faith Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Billy Bob and Sam Elliott is pretty much all you need. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen really Faith Hill and Tim McGraw act, but.
Well, Tim McGraw was in Blindside. He was pretty good in that. I've not seen Faith Hill act, but Tim McGraw's been in a couple things. He's not bad. Considering that he's not like an actor, you know what I mean?
Well, Faith Hill don't need to act. She could just be there. She could just be on camera and it's all good.
Right. Like, oh, you're still talking?
Yeah. My boy Dak Prescott for the weekend for the Cowboys. Can't wait. Oh, Cowboy man, you finally got a good year right now. It looks like to be able to cheer about the Cowboys. If food gets harder to get, they will be serving Mick Hooker rib sandwiches. That could be the
Paul.
That could be the McRib meat. We still haven't identified it, so
that's possible. That is possible.
Whatever happened to Trixie? We haven't seen her in a long time.
Have a McRib. Kind of tastes like her.
Well, wait a minute. If women came from the rib, it's just going back now, putting them back to the rib.
Right.
Yeah. Every great season must come to an end. So does it have to though? I don't think so. I don't have a stout season. Stouts are always welcome here.
So we're talking about Goliath is only 4 seasons, but Ozark is also, I just looked up, is only 4 seasons, and it starts the last season in January. Comes back on in January.
One show I got hooked into recently watching was I don't know if you ever saw Titans. That's on HBO Max.
I haven't, but you were talking about that.
Yeah, that's actually been a pretty good series. I want to watch Doom Patrol as well. For those watching, I'm a big fan of comics, although I'm more of a Marvel than DC guy. But Titans was actually done pretty well. And then part of that cast, the show for Doom Patrol were pretty good. They got their own show there. But it was a pretty good series, pretty much throughout. So
no, that's not the movie they just came out with, is it?
For Titans?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. No, for Dune. Dune
is a movie though, but Dune.
No, I know, yeah, but
that's on HBO. That's on HBO Max.
Right.
But, yeah, but I didn't like the first Dune, so I'm not going to watch the second one. I mean, it's just Dune was not my cup of tea back in the day. I don't know if this one's that much better or not. So, Dune and Enemy Mine are two movies I remember watching as a teenager. I'm like, why am I watching this? Like, Your Squid Game, my Squid Game are very different. Probably so, Paul. Probably so. I love the old Golden Harvest Kung Fu films. Although I will say, I do love the old Kung Fu films. But I did see today a trailer that they're doing a Hawkeye series on Disney Channel, like a 6-episode series. And Disney Plus is one like I don't really pull the trigger on, but it's like I keep getting poked by them because of them doing all the Marvel stuff to maybe pick them up and check that out.
They do have a shit ton of Marvel stuff on there.
Yeah,
we bought it a year ago or so for her daughter's birthday. She wanted it for like a year. And we haven't dropped it since because they do have, Mandalorian for Star Wars, whatever, is pretty good. And they do have some pretty good series on there.
That's it. I would play Squid Game. Would you, Vanessa? Would you be willing to risk? Well, I can't really say too much because Todd hasn't watched it yet. I don't know how many people watch it and haven't watched it yet. But if you've watched it, like, would you be willing to take that chance? Which I can't even say anything because I don't want to spoil for anybody, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Game of Thrones is crap. If you want to do it right, just Lord of the Rings marathon. Yeah, but Lord of the Rings doesn't have all the sex and stuff of Game of Thrones. I thought, Paul, you'd be all over Game of Thrones because of the sex.
No kidding. Right over the belly.
Yeah.
Face hills.
Popeye's chicken and seafood is worth the abuse, right? That's the thing. Like, people know going in, it could be a crazy situation, but you know what? When you want to get that Popeye sandwich or that Popeye 4-piece, you're willing to put up with it. You know it's going to be tasty.
Or the red beans and rice.
Or the red beans and rice, yeah.
Their biscuits are good too.
Oh, the Cowboys. Wait, what are you, like, you're in Eagles territory? Never had Popeyes. I don't even know they have a Popeyes out where Paul's at, though.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Dune is so high quality. So you like Dune then, Joe? I just didn't like the first one. I was bored with when I was younger. Maybe it was just I was younger and it just wasn't something I was into. And I'm kind of like, do I want to try to even watch the second one? So Faith Hill is hot. She got the Kentucky small town hot second cousin thing to her. Oh, that's funny, Gilbert. Yeah, she's definitely worth watching. You definitely have no problem with that. No, I watched the new Dune, just like the last one with slightly different stuff. So just a little bit of a variation then. A lot of work went into Dune, you can tell. And it looks, when you look at the trailer, you can definitely see the quality. It's just the storyline in the first one didn't really grab me. I don't think the second one's going to grab me as much either. That's just me, though. That's just me. It's just me. Just look, they're closing 40% of the stores because of labor. Oh, 40%. Okay. Well, they haven't announced anything here that we've seen, but there's a lot of labor.
Either.
A lot of fast food places. And it's funny, I posted a thing on my Facebook page. People are talking about the labor shortage taking place. There was a guy that tested it. He applied for 60 jobs. Only one actually called him back. And there was something with that one even. But these weren't like jobs that you think of like as an executive like that. And these are like jobs in some of the fast food places, the waiters, the restaurant. And as far as them having this, I think some of these companies put that stuff out there, like they're trying, but they're not really trying because they're probably getting assistance from the government as well.
I was going to say, they're probably getting some kind of kickback on that.
Yeah, there's something going on with that whole thing. How many would I have to dispatch to win a skid game? All or just some? Well, I can't tell you much about. I don't know if you saw it up, but I can't say much about it because people haven't seen it, may not seen it. But it gets pretty gruesome at points where you got to make a choice on stuff, and there's some dirtiness that are done between people that are just like almost like you root like almost against everybody. Like they all should just
I mean, I know the concept of it and what actually takes place. But...
Yeah. But there's a reason to why they're all playing it too, as well. But it's kind of like it's like I said, it's an interesting type thing. It's not a bad show by any means. It's definitely something different. It's just, I think for me, it was just kind of like the way the actors and stuff were on it was just kind of like, I felt like the acting wasn't as great. It was decent enough to obviously have this show, but it wasn't as great. Like where it was kind of like I was sitting there watching and like, why the over exaggeration on stuff? So, but the games were kind of fun trying to figure out what they were trying to do. Which there was only really the one game that we used to play as kids here. A lot of the other, there were two games we played as kids, I guess you could say, but the other ones were kind of ones I think they play over in Korea as well.
I mean, in the background of it is basically you play this game and the loser dies or gets shot or something. Isn't that what it is? Or can you say?
Well, I don't want to say and ruin it, but basically, if you lose, you're out, and I'm out, you're out.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So, but the games and what they do in the different thresholds, make it a little bit different. It's kind of like once you're in, you can't get out type situation, and you're affecting other people. Like if you're the way they have the game set up, after a certain point, like if we're on a team and you're like not doing your act, I may have to do something to you so that I can get my part done. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you start turning against people at certain points and stuff too.
So what are the two games? Which I don't think it'd be giving anything away. I mean, you can say or not. What are the two games that you know of that they do in the series or whatever?
Well, the first one I think a lot of people know, like the red light, green light when we were kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And another game was like doing stuff with marbles and stuff. So, like, but there were a couple other ones you had to try to figure out the way to do different things, and it was interesting.
How many is it? Is it like a seasonal where it's going to come back another season?
Well, it says season 1, so so it did do that, and by the end of it, you can see it setting up possibly for another season because of what happened. So I think they'll probably bring it back, but it'll be all different people, obviously, for obvious reasons, right? For the most part.
I'm gonna look it up. So it's, was it like 45-minute episodes or
usually 45 to an hour? Yeah. And I think the first season was only like 9 episodes, so it wasn't bad.
Oh, you know what? It's actually just a 9-episode miniseries.
Yeah. So maybe they won't bring it back, but I thought it said season 1 that did it. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
I'll tell you what is coming back, another beer.
Yeah, they're about an hour long episodes.
Yeah. And they go through rather easily, so
I'm going to watch that one. Said 9 episodes, 1 season.
Yeah.
Miniseries.
I mean, I would say it's worth a watch. It's just my end result wasn't as high as some of the other people I think that watched it. But still a decent watch. I think it's like number 1 or 2 on Netflix now, trending. Gilbert said the Cards made a game of it, so it must be close.
Yeah, they just scored.
CB says, sounds bad to me. People emulate these shows, keep it away from the kids. Yeah, well, actually, that's become an issue because some of the places that have had this, I guess, shown or whatever, there are kids emulating the kind of stuff, and they're trying to stop kids from actually emulating the game, which it is a mature type rating or whatever like that and everything. But people are watching it with their kids and stuff, and kids are playing these games. And I don't know if it's getting to a point of a life or death situation, but it's something where kids might be getting harmed and stuff.
I feel like kids have done that with multiple things for a long time.
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, we did shit we weren't supposed to do as a kid.
Right,
and,
right.
You know.
I mean, at some point, like, I understand, like, yeah, you probably don't want your kids seeing it, but at some point, as a parent, you kind of have to take responsibility for your kid.
That's the key. That's the key thing. At some point, be a parent. You got to be a parent and talk to your kids. There's too many that don't parent. They put them in front of the TV, and they think the TV's the babysitter and parent.
You're absolutely right.
Yes, yeah.
Which is why you have the caveat of don't let your kids watch this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, if our kid wants to watch it, yes, as long as she knows, like, don't fucking do this.
The generation we grew up, our parents were parents. And even if our parent wasn't around, the neighbors would act as a parent or whatever. Like, you get your ass whooped by the neighbors easily as your mom.
Yes.
Dad if you messed up, and then they come and whoop your ass again. So
it didn't matter whoever's house you was at or who you staying with, family,
everybody had permission to whip your ass back in the day.
Yeah, it was fair game. Like, they come pick you up the next day for staying the night, be like, yeah, by the way, I whooped his ass. Like, okay, you probably deserved it. Get in the fucking car and go. Let's go home.
You're sleeping over your buddy's house and both of y'all getting ass whippings, and it's like, I don't even live here.
And then go home and get your ass whooped again because you acted up in somebody else's presence. So you got it twice.
And we were all the better for it. So, oh yeah. Yeah, don't live your life as a movie. Hollywood is make believe. Well, people use Hollywood as an escape for the most part. I mean, outside of when they do like a documentary or something along those lines, it's like an escape. That's what a lot of people like to look at when they go to the movies. That's why as kids we grew up loving the movies and things like that, and the storylines and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a thing where in our culture now, people tend to copy other things that they see, from kids to adults. It's kind of like,
right. Yeah.
Why would you do that? So I said, don't try this at home. Like you got to tell people that in front of a show where you're like going to fucking take a knife and like try to cut some shit off and not cut yourself. You're like, don't try this at home. Like, who the fuck is swinging around a Kinzu knife, like trying to almost kill themselves? But people will do that. I mean, I always used to joke, like, that's why it's like in America.
That, is like, maybe I should do that at home.
It's like, yeah, you used to joke, like, how dumb you got to be to realize if you go up on the ladder, if you go too high, you may fall and hurt yourself. But they have to put a notice on it to let you know, like, don't go up this high because you may fall, you may hurt yourself. Because they don't want to get sued because, somebody sued them at some point and then they had to come up with the label on it. So, people do the dumbest shit. That should be a TV show. People do the dumbest shit. And then you can show people just like screwing up things all the time. Like kids say the darndest things. People do the dumbest shit.
People do the dumbest shit, yeah. People do the darndest things.
Put it on HBO.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, censor free.
That should be a YouTube channel even. Just reacting to people doing dumb shit out there.
Right.
Oh my God. Live your life like you're on Skid Row. Well, I mean, there's a thought to that. Like Warren Buffett always lives under his means. As rich as Warren Buffett is, he lives like he's making probably 60% of the money he actually does. Like he can have any car he wants in the world. He'll drive like a Buick or whatever. He lives modestly on stuff, even though he can have anything he wants. There's something to that. It keeps you humble, I think, too.
In fact, I can think of the promo for that show now. You've seen. Oh damn it! I forgot what the hell it was now. Oh no! You've seen Faces of Death. Now comes people say the damnedest things. Or do the damnedest things.
Oh my God! Yeah. Look at the chip challenge. Everyone is making pain for themselves. It's funny. They're like, yeah, people are doing the Packy chip challenge, which in that regard is kind of like people are trying to push their boundaries. So I give them a little bit on that. Like it's like I've done the Blazing Wing Challenge at BW3 before, just to kind of say to do it and get the T-shirt or like that and everything. But there's some people that are definitely doing that. But I would say more than them kind of doing that, you think of the times where the younger people were eating the Tide Pods. Like, there's nothing you gain out of it. Like, if you're doing a Packy challenge, you're technically eating a food that's got a hot spice to it. But when you're doing a Tide Pod, there's nothing to be gained there. You're fucking taking like a poison, basically.
Right.
Like, that's like playing Russian roulette back in the day. You know, people would do that kind of stupid stuff.
I also feel people just do the Pacquiao challenge or the heat thing just to see if they can, one, to see how hot it really is and what their tolerance could be.
Yeah.
Like you said with the Tide Pod, it's like, what do you get out of that?
There's nothing to gain from that, you know. Okay, you did a Tide Pod and you didn't die. Yay!
Is your breath gonna smell better?
Yeah.
Does anybody care if you're laying on the floor dead? Does it make any difference?
They'll say, "Hey, Tommy is Tide fresh."
Yeah.
This dumb shit. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Phil ate 17 in a sit-in. Funny, but why? Yeah, why would you put yourself to? You're gonna have to know how your body's gonna react to it, but. Try to do something. I mean, you have stuff like people do like the Guinness record, like where that might be something along those lines, and it's to set like something up there to challenge yourself or about it. But as long as it's done where it's not something to try to hurt yourself or like that and everything, which maybe the chip thing can hurt some people, but to physically do something that's stupid as far as eating a Tide Pod, that's just doesn't make sense at all. Yeah.
That ain't making any sense.
Yeah.
Again, parenting.
Yeah.
Where the parents at?
Parenting matters. Yeah.
This is for your clothes,
don't get me wrong.
For your stomach.
We've done dumb shit growing up in the 70s and 80s.
Well, I know, yeah.
But we damn sure didn't try to ingest poison.
Right, yeah. Here, Timmy, have some Clorox.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
We swung on bad rope swings that we probably shouldn't have swung on, or you know, we
did dumb shit. You might break an arm or something. You wouldn't just do something that would kill you, though. You know, like we wasn't even doing something that stupid.
Yeah, we were riding bike with no helmets and flipping them over and having rock fights with our friends, and you know, doing all kinds of stuff shit that we would do. But at the same point, it wasn't taking poison.
But that's kind of where it's become, though. It's like, don't go riding a bike without a helmet. Oh, here's a Tide Pod. You'll smell good. Go ahead and eat this. What? Wait, what? What do you mean?
It's like, I don't even know who the first person was that came up with doing the damn Tide Pod. Like, what were they thinking? You know,
somebody just like, I'm gonna see how far this will go. Let's just see this will go.
Oh, crazy. Well, I'm drinking one more Hop Butcher beer, which is the Chill Ridge. Again, you can see that review there on the channel as well. This one's a nice little double IPA. This one, I didn't like the writing on here because it was hard to see the writing at one point, but it's Citrus, Simcoe, Vic Secret, and El Dorado hopped. And I can't remember if this is the one, like, Joe liked it, but he didn't like it as much as the others. There was one that he had said he thought it just didn't knock him back as much. But he did again. He still said it was a good beer because that's what Hop Butcher does.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We do all good beers.
Let's see.
So did you just crack that one open?
I just cracked that one open there, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go get me another one then. I wasn't sure how much longer we were going, so I'll be right back.
Yeah. I don't know, CB, if you really want to see that, that could be a ghastly sight. It's definitely probably an explosion. Warren Buffett drives 2 bagged a month. These Buicks, I can see it now, son, right? You can see him sitting behind the car. That's a funny thing. Like when some people get older, you see them drive more than like the Cadillacs, like the bigger cars. Not as much now as it used to be. Back in the 80s or so, you see like older people having the long caddies, and it's just like you would think they'd go to a smaller car, but that's not just how it worked out. Ski jump from 8 to 18, base jump 200 times, skydive a ton. So stupid but fun as hell. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we all done some different things like that. Not as much as the stuff that you've done there, CB, but we've all done some different things like that. But at the same point, you kind of did it there, kind of as a sport or adrenaline rush, maybe, but you weren't ingesting poison to try to prove anything either, right? So we were looking at those as like events to take part in, so to speak, that we could actually go out and actually enjoy and try to do and have fun. Like we did different things like that as well. So
I dug back deep in the fridge for this one.
Oh, Black is Beautiful. Which one was that one done by? Sam Adams. Is that the one I sent to you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So let me know what you think of that one there.
I got 2 left. One Sam Adams, and the other one was Dogfish Head, which I got from you also.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I picked up another one about a month and a half ago that Rhine Guys re-released. It was a bourbon barrel aged version of the one they had done. So I picked that up. I haven't drank that yet either. There's still some breweries coming out with them.
This one just says Imperial Stout, 9.3. So I had time on them, so I wasn't too like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Got to drink it now. And I still have a couple of the Three Floyds ones left, but I'm not too super excited about drinking those. So
Three Floyds. You talk about a brewery that missed the mark and under expectation. That Three Floyds one was like, I feel like they just melded in on that one.
Yeah, I think they just brewed a beer, threw the label on it, and was like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, if they'd have called it a black IPA, it would have
been a lot better.
Like, okay, this is good.
Yeah. Or a tropical.
Call it an oatmeal stout or whatever the hell they called it. It's like that. You totally missed the mark on that.
I would even say if it was a tropical stout, it would have been better.
Yeah,
but it was like
it was definitely IPA-ish.
This is not an oatmeal stout. Not any oatmeal stouts I've recognized.
I mean, it wasn't a terrible beer, but it's not what they were calling it.
It's not what they were calling it, right?
Yeah.
Gilbert pulled out a 40 Creek Master Cut cast strength Canadian whiskey. Yeah, I knew you get your whiskey in. If you're living in West Virginia, people will take anything. Well, you take what you can. Yeah. And West Virginia is hard hit in a lot of areas, as we know. What do you think of the smell? Now he's talking to Shannon, I think. So we'll see here. I just bought a bottle of Bullet Bourbon. Very nice. Cobb again. I guess Cobb scored again.
Oh, did he? I didn't miss that one.
Definitely
get some hints of chocolate on the nose. It's not the best, like, not a sifter glass type. A little bit more open, but I'm not getting a lot of smell off of it, honestly.
I can't remember when I sent that to you. It may have faded a little bit. I can't remember when I sent that one to you.
Let the hound dog smell it.
The hound dog.
It like a hound dog.
It smells malty.
Oh, there you go.
Stout. It's not barrel aged or anything, so you might actually somewhat like it. I don't know.
Should take a sip.
Yeah. No.
Maybe a little bit of chocolate in the end.
A little bit of chocolate in the end, she says.
I
can smell a little bit on the nose. It does have a little bit of a maltiness, sweetness to it on the nose. Keep in mind too, I just pulled it out of the fridge, so it's cold.
Well, yeah, that isn't warmed up. Yeah, you would have definitely.
I mean, it just kind of tastes like a run-of-the-mill kind of imperial stout. Like there's nothing really special to it. I mean, it's not. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
No particular flavors.
Yeah. It's just like I said, like a regular run-of-the-mill imperial stout. Kind of get a little bit of the sort of maltiness, chocolate. Not so much coffee. I don't really get much. A little bit on the back end. Some coffee on the back end. Not a ton.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it warms up and there's anything else that you pull out of it.
Right. Like I said, I just pulled it out of the fridge because I wasn't sure how long it was going. Right, I got it out sooner, but.
Me and my friends said we're going to bed.
Oh.
Yeah, what I wrote about that was a decent stout offering, but not a standout. So
Yeah, I mean that's good.
Yeah,
Like I said,
you're right. Well, I mean,
had
not a
more-
standout. I mean, it's nothing that really makes it stand out being anything special, though. Like, if you
No,
wanted a
but I
stout,
mean,
you
if
could
they
enjoy
were
a
to
stout.
bottle it as an imperial stout and just sold it,
Yeah.
you would have bought off the shelf or whatever as a standard. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Not anything you're gonna seek, all the time for, but it's a good representation of imperial stout, in my opinion.
There you go, Joe. Get your dram on, my friend. Still hanging here for a little bit.
I don't remember what your review was of this one. What'd you think of it? Do you remember?
I just remember like having some of the coffee type feel.
Yeah, it does have some coffee on the
chocolate.
back end for sure.
I mean, the summary I gave you there is when I put it on tap. It was a 3.75 out of 5 for me on Untapped that I did. So it wasn't anything. It was good. 3 is good for me. 4, very good. So it was under the very good level, but it was a stout that you could sit and enjoy. It's just not something that will stand out. Like, it wasn't the best of the series I've had. Of the
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like that's probably spot on, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see what I put for the notes of it, if I got that on here. I have malty, coffee, roasty, bitter, and chocolate were the notes I had on it.
Yeah. Not getting much bitterness from it, but definitely getting coffee.
Remember, the bitterness I get when I talk about a stout is a coffee bitterness more than
Well, yeah.
what you would think of as an IPA type bitterness.
Some of the chocolate, right.
Yeah.
Chocolate type bitterness.
Like if you're drinking coffee black or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that. I was first thinking like an IPA bitterness, which I don't get that, but yeah.
I didn't know your smell got burned out, CB. Really?
Oh wow.
Funeral as a kid, well, I guess funeral because you get to put the chemicals on your nose and stuff because of the decomposition or whatever as you do the bodies and everything. That maybe that can burn out your smell. That sucks. I always like smell. Smell's that first value of taste. Well, actually, visually, your eyes are your first feel of taste, and that smell, and then the actual taste itself, of course. Like if something looks appealing, your body reacts to it. If it smells appealing, your body gets a little bit more into it. And of course, when you taste it, you get that flavor. So for you, it's kind of just like a regular type stout then.
Yeah, it's nothing out of the box. It's solid.
Which is fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's solid.
Like if I was drinking at a bar, I wouldn't be upset by it or anything.
No. If Sam Adams were to produce this and be like, just called it like a whatever imperial stout.
Yeah.
As a standard, like their Boston Lager or whatever, but it's just a stout. Like, okay, I'd be fine with it. Going into it, it's just kind of a standard beer, an imperial.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who I sent it to. I want to say it was, I can't remember if it was Nerd Sense I sent that one to. But it was funny because it was somebody, I think it was Nerd Sense, because he was outside Boston. And they didn't have that release up there. They had it here in the Cincinnati brewery.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, it's funny. And when he was doing his video on it, and he was just like, and if you guys haven't checked out Nerd Sense, check out Nerd Sense. Great channel there for beer stuff too. And it was like, funny. He's like, Rod sent it to me, and I thought, it'd be done in Cincinnati for the beer. Then he looked at the label. It was actually brewed in Boston, it said. So it's like it was Boston. It was shipped to Cincinnati. I'm like right here in Boston. I can't get it. Like right down the street from the brewery. It's kind of a weird thing.
How the hell can you get that? Yeah.
But the beer world doesn't always make sense, as we know.
No, not at all.
Well, we're now father and sister the same. We did in Ballin. We were licensed in the 60s. It was an apprentice program. Yeah. After a point, I guess that does affect it that way. Oh, Double D made it into the back door. What's up, homie?
Double
Cheers.
D.
Late night on the 19th hole, my friend. If Foamy's
I'm
in
sure
from
it's
down
got
in Texas.
7:30 tea time tomorrow morning.
What is up, Foamy? He's having a Snowball Juice Nectar Cream IPA from Urban South Brewery. Cheers. Cheers to you as well, Foamy. Actually drinking a Till Ridge from Hot Butcher right now. I think this is my last Hot Butcher beer, but great stuff for a brewery that they're putting out. Anybody gets to see Hot Butcher, definitely recommend checking them out there. And Didi said cheers to all as well. But hopefully you're having a good Thursday night, Foamy and Didi, and kind of just kicking back, relaxing as we always do. Hopefully putting a smile on people's faces as we head into the last day of the work week. Well, for most people, last day of the work week.
Woo! Oh, there's a commercial for the ghost pepper nuggets.
They're not bad. They're not bad. Because I had the sweet and sour sauce with them.
$1.49.
Yeah. Yeah, Burger King is that one fast food business that is like, I don't care what you said you're making, we're going to make it too. Like when they were doing the tacos, they were doing the nuggets, they were doing the chicken sandwich, like stepping on everybody's feet. Like Burger King, the king of Burger King don't matter. It don't matter what you're doing. I'm like, the way that they haven't done is maybe roast beef. They haven't messed with Arby's, but they're doing other stuff. You know, they haven't done fried.
Tacos,
they haven't done direct fried chicken, so they haven't messed with KFC or Popeyes really. But they do the chicken sandwich. So
we stopped at White Castle the other night after I'm sure we was out drinking somewhere.
That's the only time you end up at White Castle.
Well, they have some new burger. It's called like the 1439 or some kind of like year also. And it's like a thicker. So I got one. I'm not sure the price is right for it because they're so small, but damn, that thing was good. It was pretty good. I don't know if I'd pay $1. I wouldn't pay $1.70 or whatever for, a 2x2 piece of burger. When you go to McDonald's to get a McDouble for $1.50 or whatever it is,
But it is a different taste and quality. I had McDouble yesterday when I did go to McDonald's, and it was like,
yeah. But it was tasted like it was a hand patty type burger, which I'm sure they're not, but it kind of tasted like it. And it was definitely twice as thick, maybe 3 times as thick as a regular White Castle. So if you break it down that way, you might be getting like 3 White Castles in one.
Yeah.
For the price, which would be equal probably to 3 White Castles. I don't know. But it was good, though. It was good.
Middle Fruit says, only 7. Watching Todd's wife's absent. Coincidence? Just nice chat. Yeah, nice. No, I mean, she's here. We can't even talk, so we're talking now since she's not here.
Probably true. Yeah. Probably no coincidence to it. It probably is true. to a little extent, anyway.
People time it out. Shannon's usually like every 2 weeks, so they're like, "Oh, she's not there this week."
She's
so
like, "Okay, well, wait till next week."
One of these spicy nuggets. I actually like the spicy nuggets. So, but the ghost pepper ones from Burger King, 8 for the $1.49. Not a bad deal.
Are they hot though? Are they very hot?
Not really that hot, no.
I was thinking that's what you said, but
I didn't think they were, but the wife may disagree. But I like a lot of spicy stuff, so I didn't think they were that hot at all. If you're coming to Dallas, the best place for a burger is driving called Keller's. The burgers are awesome, and it's the first drive-in here in Dallas. Oh, I'll keep that in mind. So, Joe, you're in the Dallas area then? Just curious because my in-laws are actually out there in, I guess it's Fort Worth, Carrollton area. And actually, when I came down there a few years back, I went to Three Nations Brewery out there, which is a nice little brewery spot. But if you're in that area, I'll have to let you know when I'm back at some point. My wife went early this year, but I didn't go to get back down there.
Oh, I saw they're going to be opening some of the Freddy's restaurants here that you guys have in your area up there.
Who, our area? I've never seen Freddy's. Where's Freddy's at?
For sure.
Okay, we don't mean Kentucky's on the Ohio side. Okay.
They're kind of like Steak and Shake, but better.
All right, I haven't seen them.
They may not have them on Kentucky side of Cincinnati.
Are you getting them in Indiana? Are you getting them in Indiana or Kentucky?
In Kentucky.
Okay, so Louisville area. All right.
In Louisville area, yep.
I have not seen them.
I just saw it on the news today that they were going to be opening up some locations. So, be curious to see. It's pretty good. It's pretty good if you've never had it.
Hardywood Porter, Baltic. Is it a Baltic Porter, DD? Excellent 2 brown ales from a brewery from Colorado. Can't remember. That's how good it was. There you go.
That's always good then, yes.
BK does some great. Actually, you know what? You say that, Gilbert, and I do like the jalapeno poppers at Burger King as well. So usually I'll get like a burger and I'll get like the jalapeno poppers instead of fries because I'm not a big fan of the fries, especially for Burger King.
They have a we went there a couple weeks ago and I was like, give me the tater tot cheese filled tater tot.
Oh, they have those, yeah. Yeah.
Well, she got them, but they don't apparently have the regular ones now. They're jalapeno filled. No, they were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Burger King mixes it up and stuff. So let me ask you this. As far as fast food, and you and everybody else in the chat, as far as fast food, which place do you think has the best hamburger of the fast food restaurants? The best hamburger of the fast food restaurants. Oh, nice, Joe. You're in Dow. Cool. I'll definitely keep you posted.
Now, are you considering fast food if they have a drive-through only?
A drive-through only? Well, that would be fast food because you can't sit down there. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I'm talking like a Five
Oh,
Guys
they would dine in or Five Guys would be fast food stuff. Something you would get like in 5 minutes or something. I would consider fast food.
Okay. Well, that's why I was asking because I don't think any Five Guys has a drive-through as far as I know. At least none of them around here do anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get to Tufts, but I like Three Nations. So I got a video actually, I think, on the channel from when I visited there. If you get a chance to check out as well.
Man, for me, it'd probably be might be Culver's.
I've never been in Culver's. I know about Culver's, but I've never been in Culver's. But they got a really good burger.
Might be Culver's, yes, and they got a really good fish sandwich too.
Huh.
But I was asking Five Guys because their burger's good. But outside of that, like a normal kind of big chain thing, probably Wendy's.
So so if we said a big chain category, this is a big chain category, you would say Wendy's probably for the burger?
You're talking like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's.
Yeah.
Rallies, maybe. For me, those four would be Wendy's. But you're just talking in general, it probably would be Culver's.
I haven't been to Culver's. Okay. Yeah, I would say.
Do you have one near you?
I've seen stuff for them. I haven't been to any, but I've seen stuff. We get like those value pack coupons or something like that. And stuff in the mail.
Well, in fact, they're like a place kind of opposite of like. I shouldn't say opposite because Chick-fil-A is kind of the same way now. You pull up and they'll bring it out to you. Culver's is the same way. Like you order. You'll pull up to the window, pay for it, and they'll give you a number, and then you'll pull up. You'll pull up, and then they'll bring your food out to you before you leave.
Yeah.
So it's not like, well, I don't want to say McDonald's fast because the McDonald's.
I wouldn't say McDonald's is fast anymore. Every McDonald's I've been to is not fast.
House is the absolute worst fast drive-through I've ever seen in my entire life.
Ever since they tried to go to Chick-fil-A 2-line thing, they've been all screwed up.
Yes. So every now and again on the weekends when Shannon's working, and of course I'm off, so I'll when we go get you some lunch, I'll bring you some lunch to work. So a couple weeks ago, she's like, "Yeah, give me McDonald's." I was like, "Okay." So there's one literally like 2 miles from our house, maybe.
Yeah.
So I went there, and there was like I said, the double drive-through. So there was 3 cars in one line, 2 cars, and then me in another line. And I did not move for 25 minutes, and I finally was like, what else do you want? Because I'm not sitting here waiting anymore. It was so bad. Like, there was nobody in front of anybody else. I don't even know. I don't know if they have.
It might have been they were short staffed. Yeah,
I was going to say, the person that's taking the order is also cooking, also taking the money. I'm not sure what was going on, but it was like, I'll never go to this McDonald's again.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I think for me, you said Wendy's. I think Wendy's has one of the freshest burgers of the chains.
Yes. I agree.
But sometimes their bread, I don't like the bread they use for some of them. They switched the bread a while back, like they were using for the single and the doubles. And
they kind of got a little bit
got a little bit more of a. It's like got too much of a sweetness kind of to it. It's like I like the Whopper. I grew up loving the Whopper, double Whopper, stuff like that. But if I had to choose a burger place, it's funny because one place I don't go to that really as much as I probably could go to, that I always enjoy their burgers, is probably Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen does a nice hamburger there and stuff too.
That's very true. Our daughter actually works at Dairy Queen now. So
yeah. Dairy Queen is a nice burger. If it was something where I was picking up like in a drive-thru, I know in the chat, like Dee Dee said, Five Guys. If I was going in to sit down, Five Guys wouldn't be bad. Although
Five Guys, that's why I was asking like a drive-thru or not.
Yeah, well, we have Mad Mike's here. I think Mad Mike's is actually better than Five Guys.
Oh,
but
no,
that might be more regional type thing. I feel like it's not as Five Guys could be a little bit greasy at times, but Mad Mike's isn't as greasy. They have more of a variety of the burgers they actually put together. That kind of makes them stand out a little bit more to me. But I like Five Guys when you go there with the fries and the peanuts. Something about eating the peanuts gets that saltiness in your mouth that you really enjoy the burger that much more, I think.
Right. Yeah. Something else I just thought of too, which we don't really have one close to us, so we literally never go there, is Hardee's.
Hardee's actually surprisingly has some burgers there too that are pretty decent.
Yeah. I just thought about it. I was like, Hardee's is actually for kind of a big, Carl's or whatever. Yeah. Carl's Jr. or whatever is all the same.
And they actually
Rally's used to be, but I think Rally's is sucked.
They went down. They went down for sure. Yeah.
Their fries, unless you get them hot, they're awful. They're not very good. Like that was like the prime reason to go to Rally's was to get their fries.
Hardee's gives you a nice filling hamburger too. Like it has a good feeling. It's like you feel like you're getting a good decent burger with it.
It feels like it's like handmade and fried right then. Like it does feel kind of like homemade sort of. Yeah.
Like Joe said, Steak and Shake is actually a solid one too. Especially sit down there. I like their shakes. I like their burgers. They're pretty solid. Now,
overall. Where's Joe at?
Dallas.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Joe, is your Steak and Shake, because I don't know your experience, Rod, but anytime I've ever been to Steak and Shake, you eat inside, you'll be there for like 4 hours. It's like forever. I mean, that's exaggeration, but you're there for a long time.
Before you get served? Oh, ours is pretty good up here.
Is it really? No, everyone here in Indiana and in Louisville, whatever, northern Indiana, it's like, they all suck. It's like, here's your handbook on how to be the worst chain of restaurant ever in the history of restaurants. Here, just read this. Okay. Like it's terrible. I mean, I've never been to Steak and Shake local that's ever had good service. Ever.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gilbert. A&W also makes a good burger as well. So the funny thing with A&W here in the States, at least the ones I see, they're usually part of another chain. So it's like A&W and Long John Silver's.
Long John's, yes.
Right. And they're decent. We don't have any close to us, but I like their hamburgers as well when you kind of go into
that is a good one.
Into them.
We had a couple around, but I think now there's only one. But it's a A&W / Long John's.
Sonic, awesome. Sonic does have a good chili dog, although I like the Dairy Queen chili dog as well that they actually have there. But Sonic
isn't bad. Sonic is all of them in southern Indiana closed. We don't even have one.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. We got to go like to Louisville or something to get Sonic, or up north or something to get Sonic.
Yeah, ours is the one that we have like 10 minutes from our house. We don't ever really go there much, but we have one close.
But they had good food, though. Yeah, they had good food.
So the problem with Sonic is not that we don't know the food's probably not good for us. The fucking calories they put into their stuff, especially if you want a dessert, like.
Oh yes. But if you're going there, you're not probably worried about that anyways.
It's like I feel like I want a large, but at 3,500 calories, I guess I'll go for the small.
That's when you look over Janice like, are you eating any of these?
Yeah.
Okay, if you are, I'll have the large. If not, maybe the medium. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Dee said played 9 holes yesterday after work. After not playing tomorrow, moving my daughter to DC due to new job. I'm not going to do this anymore. I love my firstborn, but I'm messing with my confidence. BS. We all got our loves. We all got our loves.
Priorities, DD. Priorities.
Let me see. He said we should be getting more food places soon. The new electric plane. Plane plant in the valley. Oh yeah, so with the new plant coming, that'll be new business opportunities for sure. DQ is all over West Virginia. Chili dogs are great. Yeah, the chili dogs at DQ are awesome. I tell you this, CB, because CB will know. We actually went to Yellow Springs last weekend. They actually had a Tudor's Biscuit World. I have never seen Tudor's Biscuit World outside of West Virginia. And for those of you watching don't know what that is, Tudor's is like a biscuit world. It's biscuits, but they put like meats, all these different stuff around biscuits and gravy, whatever, all these different things. I'm going to go there for the breakfast. And they're all over West Virginia, but I've never seen them in interstate until just recently up in Ohio at Yellow Springs.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, so it's that's a meaty breakfast place. It's about a place to go for good breakfast sandwiches. Tudor's will get you set. Whack Arnold's fastest pull up to the closest parking spot. Never heard of Whack Arnold's. Or was that a McDonald's kind of written a different way?
Right.
In-N-Out burgers are nice. Yeah, In-N-Out are nice. We don't have any here. Like if you're on the West Coast, you can get those. I'm thinking of somewhere else I saw. A lot of it out of California, but they also have a place in California called Richie's, which is a nice burger place. But Fat Burger went there, and I was in California before. That's a nice big burger too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard that one too.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, you can really throw down on that. I don't have any of these places. You got some of them around Charleston, I think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there got to be some around Charleston. No, A&W. We used to stop at the A&W when we went to Charleston from here because there was a spot in Grayson that would have it there. But yeah.
You know what? Honestly, like the best thing about A&W is like getting their draft type root beer poured in a big frosty mug. Well, I don't know if they still do it or not, but they used to. They got like a frosty mug and like you're tapping beer, but it was just root beer. But I don't know, something about it seemed like it was better than just your normal like A&W root beer out of a can or 2-liter or something. Kind of like McDonald's Coke. I don't know what they do with theirs, but their Coke is way better than anything else.
Oh, no. They actually said they actually have something special with McDonald's. But with McDonald's, I forgot what it was, but that food that built America that I told you about that show. They talked about
that's right.
They talked about that and confirmed that McDonald's does have something different that they actually.
There's more sugar or more syrup or something. I'm sure
there's something with it. I think it's something with the ice or something they do. It was something they said on it, but it is different feel. And they said it is true that the McDonald's Coke is different than the other Coke that you're used to.
I'm sure it's 10 times worse for you, but damn, it's good.
After being out drinking, fucking get a sausage cheese biscuit or whatever there and get that Coke, you're good to go within about 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. But Joe said they do have a drive-thru at theirs, so that's Five Guys, I think, in Dallas where they have a drive-thru.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen one. Well, not any here anyway. It's got one.
Jackson Hole in NYC, they put the fresh meat on the grill and with the metal bowl, put the metal bowl over it and give you those sour garlic pickles with them. Great burgers. Not sure if they're still around. But that sounds more like a restaurant, though, so. But that sounds like it'll be good as well. No thought. Only West Virginia is owned by West Virginia Position, but food is great. For a burger, I hit up a local greasy spoon since the 50s. Mr. Burger. Great handmade burgers, shakes, and best poutine outside Montreal. I like a nice poutine. Well, that's the thing. There's some nice restaurants that have some really decent burger stuff, too. But I was just thinking kind of on a big scale where people can kind of relate to, but there's some other places we have around here. I mean, I'd tell you another place that surprisingly has a good burgers, Wahlburgers. We have that chain here. They have decent burgers and different options that you can do there as well. But it's something about having a nice burger. And the good thing about Wahlburgers, they serve alcohol. You get a nice beer with your burger and stuff too. But a nice burger, I mean, you think of all the American foods that we go through and consume, and I don't even know, is the hamburger more an American food where other people eat hamburgers if we're exploding here? I think America was really that's kind of like an American. White Castle was the first fast food really doing the burgers.
Right.
That's like an American. I mean, it's just like I would think a hamburger more American than like say
I would think so.
I would say like a hot dog. Hot dog's pretty American, but I think like a burger is what I think about. But a hot dog is good too.
I mean, where did the hamburger originate from?
That's a good
Would
question.
Hamburg, Germany, or something?
It might have been a German that made it over here. Now you got me thinking, what is the origins of
Let's see.
hamburger? History of the
Where
hamburger.
was
Let's see what it says here.
where was the cheeseburger invented? I think it was in Indiana, I believe.
Most historians believe that it was invented by a cook who placed a hamburger steak between two slices of bread in a small town in Texas.
Nah.
But
Says
hold on.
the cheeseburger was invented in 1926 in Pasadena, California.
Let me see here.
There you go.
The hamburger. Well, this says the hamburger first appeared in the 19th or early 20th century. Modern hamburger was a product of the culinary needs of a society rapidly changing due to industrialization and the emergence of the working class and middle class, with the resulting demand for mass-produced, affordable food that could be consumed outside the home. After various controversies in the 20th century, included a nutritional controversy in the late 1990s, the burger was readily identified within the United States and a particular style of cuisine, namely fast food. Along with fried chicken and apple pie, the hamburger has become a culinary icon in the United States. So we do own the hamburger. I mean, that's just us. It is named after a German city of Hamburg. So you were.
That was close. That was close.
But there is some controversy over the origin of the hamburger because its two basic ingredients, bread and beef, have been prepared and consumed separately for many years in different countries. Before the combination, shortly after its creation, hamburger quickly included all of its currently typically characteristic trimmings, including onions, lettuce, and sliced pickles. And see if there's anything else that's actually here. The global culinary culture has been produced in part by the concept of some processed food, first launched in the 1920s by White Castle. Like I said, White Castle was the first one, the first fast food place, and then refined by McDonald's in the 1940s. We know the McDonald brothers did that. And the global expansion provides economic points of comparison like the Big Mac Index. Who knew the Big Mac had an index? By which one can compare the purchasing power of different countries where the Big Mac burger is sold. So they measure burger sales by using the Big Mac even in some countries for the popularity of it. So let me see here. The exact origin of the hamburger may never be known with any certainty. Most historians believe it was it was invented by a cook who placed a hamburger steak between two slices of bread in Texas. Others credit the founder of White Castle for developing the hamburger sandwich. Records from that time are scarce. So they don't really know who actually. Now, maybe the cheeseburger is different because they actually was the first person to put a slice of cheese on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Toss up. It's a toss up.
But yeah. So mark that off your bingo card if you thought you would come to a beer show and learn about the history of the hamburger. If you had that on your bingo card.
You'll learn all kinds of things joining us on a Thursday night. You never know. You never know. Not just beer.
Texas has Whataburger. The building was an A-frame construction. I have been to Whataburger, and they're actually pretty decent as well for the hamburger. Yeah. Let me see. Love Yellowstone. Been to the air park for a party. Nice place, but too far out. Fly to dinner would break me. CB, you're flying everywhere all the time. I would like to go to actually the Yellowstone Park. That'd be kind of cool. Whataburger, jalapeno cheddar sausage biscuit to die for in the morning. That sounds pretty good. I love a good pepper, so anything with some pepper and spice, I'm in it. Whack Arnold's, McDick's, and McDonald's all the same. But you forgot McDowell's. There's no McDowell's there. American-made hamburgers famous. Yeah. You look at the history of it, it's pretty much just an American treat for the most part. Although it is funny that it's named after Hamburg because of the Hamburg meat that was used out of Germany as well. So Germany, in a way, gave us the hamburger and it gave us beer. And, well, obviously, if you go way back in beer, they can go back to Mesopotamia for the beer part of it. But we know Germany as being a great beer spot now. Let me see here. Oops. My mouse is all over the board. What is going on? I can't get to the next. There we go. Which came first, Buffalo or cow burger? I think cow burger came first. I would bet cow before buffalo or bison burgers.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a valid question because, like, back in the olden days, cowboys and Indians, wouldn't Buffalo like more?
Buffalo
like
was
more
from,
populated.
yeah. As far as what they actually use bison for, yeah.
But to hit the like standard American market or whatever, I would think cow for sure.
Let me see. People at Google are kind of like, what the hell are people doing? Like they see people type shit in for the search bar. It's like, why would you even ask that question?
Right. What the Well, what are you asking that for?
Well, I put in their first burger, cow or bison, and nothing really on it, but it seems like everything with the bison definitely came later, as well as elk showing up here too. So I would say definitely the cow.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
but I love a nice bison burger.
Yeah,
homemade burgers are the best burgers. Well, not if you watch Eddie Murphy Delirious. He was upset when he couldn't go to McDonald's. McDonald's ain't got no green pepper on it. ain't no bun. McDonald's don't use bread.
We have a restaurant in Louisville. It's called The Gain.
Yeah,
it might be Gain, but they do all kinds of wild game burgers. Ostrich, bison.
Nice.
They do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the first time I had an ostrich burger was actually one at Ted Turner's restaurant down in Atlanta, Georgia.
I've never had one, but I heard they're really good.
Yeah, they are. They're really good. Nothing better than a burger off a 65-year-old flat top. That's probably what Lep uses there. Lep's big on a flat top. I don't know. I like a grill. I like the grill. Getting the grill drip down into the flames, getting that flame broiled on the burger. That more that way.
Kind of give you a different taste.
Yeah.
Kind of give you that Waffle House drunk on a Saturday night flavor to it.
True.
Which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Well, that's why I think I like the flame broil, just because, like with Burger King, because it's like it reminds me of just having that nice flame barbecue type thing, or
yeah.
You're out grilling something or something like that. I prefer to have that, but I'll do a flat top as well.
There's definitely a difference.
Yeah,
I feel like you get maybe more flavor to a grill.
Joe says, Texas, a ton of German immigrants. Steiner was started by a German immigrant way back. Yeah, we have a ton here as well. Like it's Cincinnati, that's why we have the second biggest Oktoberfest outside of Munich. Although last year was the biggest Oktoberfest because Munich didn't do it. But I like some Shiner beers as well too. I've had some of the stuff from the Spetzel Brewery. Moose burgers, they're never had a moose burger. I would try a moose burger. I've always heard good things about moose meat.
I think they do have a moose burger also. Now I got to pull up the menu and see what they have.
Great. It makes great chili. Love the gamey taste. Nice. Emu is a fantastic, hard to get. Yeah, Emu I've heard also good things about. I like exploring the different foods and stuff. I like a good burger. Oh,
Green Bay had 4th and goal from the half-yard line and didn't score.
Yeah.
What
really
he has here. So you can get camel.
I've heard camel, yeah.
Wagyu
out of Japan.
Local bison, local lamb.
Wait a minute. Is this in Louisville?
Yeah.
So we have bison in Kentucky?
I guess.
I've never seen local bison in Kentucky.
It says local, so
I've never seen. I'm not saying it's not happening. I've just never seen bison in Kentucky.
Yeah, right, exactly. Venison, wild boar, prime Angus, kangaroo, duck, dry aged beef,
A duck burger?
salmon, and rabbit.
You're saying a burger.
Well, these are chef recommendations, but I think it's all like burgers. But they do have the thing called a meatball sampler, and you can get like so it's 3 ounces of each individually. A meatball of kangaroo, dried aged beef, prime Angus, wild boar, venison, Wagyu beef, local bison, local lamb, which I'm not sure if there's any lambs that are local, but whatever. Duck, elk, and rabbit.
I would say lambs are more local than bison. I just haven't seen, hey, look at the bison over there. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the menu for build your own burger. So it's Wagyu, kangaroo, local bison, dry aged beef, duck, lamb, elk, wild boar, salmon, prime Angus, alpaca, venison, and rabbit.
So
those are all the meats you have to choose from to build your own burger.
Huh, that's interesting.
And they also have which I've never been to the game, so I don't know for sure, but I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Right.
But their main restaurant where they started from is probably one of Shannon and I's favorite restaurants in the city.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. It's called Hammerheads.
Okay.
And it's like a shotgun house, and it's in the basement of this house. And I mean shotgun house. Like if you're over 6 foot tall, you probably have to duck all the way down just to get to your seat. Like
oh wow.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's just like but their food is outstanding. It's really good. And they have a real good like craft beer selection also. But it's kind of those places you pull up to it and you're like, if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, yeah, I'll pass on that. But man, their food is so good. So they actually opened up the game, and then I think they had a third restaurant, which I think since is closed, but I can't remember what that was.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like spread out too far, too quick.
Yeah, we guys got an interesting restaurant that's underground. I would like to try to go to at some point. I think that'd be kind of cool here in Cincinnati, because Cincinnati is underground subway.
Right,
From back in the day, and they actually made a restaurant under one of the little areas underneath, and
okay.
it looks really cool and stuff. It's kind of like you're walking into like a dungeon, like on Blade or something like that. Like
that would be cool, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, let me see here. Oh, that sounds good, Gilbert. Too venison, jalapeno sausage is the absolute best. Go Packers! I would give that a try. DSLK, what the hell is an emu? I think it's an emu, which is EMU, which is a big bird as well. Kind of like an ostrich type thing. CB says, I like local. Sounds great. Want the name, right? Yeah, Todd, you said the name of that place. What's that place again?
It is called Game. It's just called Game.
Yeah, and it's in Louisville.
Yeah.
The CB's not really that far away. He's just outside Charleston.
So there's kind of what the website looks like if you pull it up.
Yeah. That looks pretty tasty.
Yeah. So if you guys ever make it down here, you want to remind me, because I've never been.
Yeah.
I'd love to go. Like I said, Hammerheads, which is one of our favorite restaurants, is like their kind of father figure of, restaurants, I guess.
Yeah. He's a cook kangaroo. Nope. More than half that stuff I can't do. I have to be stranded in the mountains or playing crash.
Yeah.
I would do some kangaroo.
I think the way to go there might be if you want to try different species would be like the meatballs, I would think, right?
Might be a way to go. Is there like a sampler platter or anything? That'd be a great appetizer, like sampler jerky of different animals.
I mean, it wouldn't be cheap. It said meatball sampler, 3 ounces each individually, and then all the different species I named.
Yeah,
they're like $4 a piece for a 3-ounce meatball.
Well, for wild game, you're going to pay up for sure.
Yeah.
I would expect that. Yeah,
but I would think if you wanted to try 3 or 4 different ones, I mean, even if you were to like split it amongst 3 or 4 people, everybody just kind of get a bite just to try it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be terrible.
No, I don't think it would either. I'd give it a try.
But they have all kinds of wild game there for sure.
I'd be more easy to eat like something like that than I would frog legs. I don't know why, but frog legs just sticks out of my head. Like
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Tastes like chicken.
I mean, it really does, which doesn't make any sense, but it does. I mean, it tastes about like as much as chicken as you can get to chicken without being chicken.
It's like fried bologna. Tastes like hot dogs. Well, I'll have a couple hot dogs then.
I started to send you a video the other day because this lady is like, how to fry bologna so it doesn't like bubble
So
up.
bubble up. Yeah.
I started to send it to you just because. It's like, you ain't been cooking it the right way. This is why you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up as a kid. I grew up loving bologna. It's like OSCAR. My bologna has a second name, MAYER. Yeah, I was a bologna kid back in the day, but all that time, never knew to fry it. Just always had it nice and cold with some cheese and some mayo or Miracle Whip on it.
I had to be Miracle Whip.
Back to the playground. Well, back to my mom's at Hellman's, so it was always mayo.
Okay.
I didn't get Miracle Whip until I got it on my own. At her house, it was always Hellman's mayo. Yeah.
You was bougie then, wasn't you? No fried bologna, no Miracle Whip.
Yeah, we had Kool-Aid. We didn't have drink aid. We had Kool-Aid. So I was like, you better not bring no Kool-Aid. We bring some drink aid in here. We definitely drink Kool-Aid. So yeah.
Drink aid.
Pop-Tarts, not the knockoff of the Pop-Tarts or whatever. Or, like we had Lucky Charms or whatever the knockoff was, but
no knockoffs in this house.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
At least as far as I knew, Mom could have been refilling the box with something else, and I wouldn't have been aware of it.
Right? Yeah. Who knows?
See, some of the adults do that. Like they take like the cheap Cheerios and put them in the Cheerios box.
Like I'm trying to save $1. Who cares what you like? You ain't paying for this shit, so what matters?
No doubt, CB. You're just I-64 away from coming up.
There you go.
Or just fly into the Louisville airport.
Yeah.
Oh, what an ending. Great game. Who ended up winning? Was it Green Bay or Arizona?
Well, I'm on Hulu Live, which I think is a few seconds behind, but it's 24-21 Green Bay with 30 seconds plus to go.
Oh,
Arizona has the ball inside the 10, so they'll probably at least tie it up.
Sampler platter just labeled in 1, 2, 3. Don't tell me what it is. Don't tell Dee what it is.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad thing either.
Frog legs taste like chicken, but tender like fish. Great Hellman's, never Miracle Whip snot. I'm a Miracle Whip man. You can have the Hellman's all you. Yeah. I had a sandwich for lunch today, turkey and cheese, and I had Miracle Whip on it.
I never had Hellman's until Shan and I got together for a long time. I used to always like Miracle Whip. She's like, why are you buying that shit for? I'm like, that's what I used to eat. I never had the good stuff. Like, I guess the good stuff. I don't know.
You're supposed to say, watch your tone, woman.
Right. But if you look up the ingredients, it's like the exact same. So I don't know why the differences in the taste.
They put them together differently then because it is a different taste there.
Yeah, definitely is. Like one of them is a little bit sweeter than the other.
Yeah.
But if you look at the ingredients, it's like identical, which makes no sense.
Joe said, can we get on the topic of cheese fries? Like, what's the topic of cheese fries?
Green Bay intercepted the ball in the end zone with 12 seconds to go.
Oh, so Green Bay held on to get the win. Dropped that first loss on Arizona. I like some cheese. I like chili cheese fries.
Oh, yeah.
The Pack won on the interception, son.
Oh, there you go.
What a game, Gilbert said. Well, he didn't spoil it. He waited till you saw it. Then he kind of typed it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I say I'm on Hulu Live, which is like a few seconds behind, but
yeah.
Man, that was a terrible. What was AJ Green doing there? I don't know. I don't even understand what was going on there.
You know, dude, I got Sports Center on right now, and they're showing highlights of the basketball games, and I'm like, I almost find some type of pleasure, which is kind of weird because I grew up as a Lakers fan as a kid. But the Lakers kind of struggling right now. I feel like because they put so many people on that team, to see them not being able to pull together gives me kind of a nice feeling of relief. Like you got Westbrook, you got James, you got Davis, you got all these superstars you put together, and you guys are losing. Which to me is kind of like karma, just like I don't know.
Yeah.
At least right now, early on, they have not been able to do that.
Did you see? Well, I don't know if you saw it, but did you see the score of the game last night? The Lakers were up by 26 at halftime, and ended up losing by like 24 or something like that.
Yeah, I saw I saw a note on Facebook about that, and then like a piece. But I guess Westbrook got ejected too. Like
he did.
He got mad because they did a steal or a dunk or something after they were like, and people were like, Westbrook, how many times have you done that in the game? Like when you guys are already up, like. And you still do something dumb, like it's just like
just go take a rest of the night off.
He didn't like his own medicine, so. But there's something with that they're actually struggling, and it's kind of like it's like the New York Yankees. Like people hate the Yankees at times. You put all this money into your payroll, and you guys can't win, and people enjoy that. You're trying to buy your title,
Right, yeah. I mean that's true.
Yeah, Joe said, how did they get those guys on? It was all basically in the contract negotiations and when you're paying out players and the way the salaries are structured, where you pay some now or you pay some later, whatever it may be. So they're able to kind of get under the salary cap.
It's definitely not the NBA of the 90s.
Yeah.
Where we had like all the teams were just from drafting, like the Golden State back then, Detroit, Pacers even then, Phoenix, they're all just like, they didn't go team up to win a championship. Yeah. They had pride in like trying to make their team good,
Yeah, and I don't fault the players for trying to go out there and work the market and get the money. It's just there's just something about it that just feels like, you guys try to buy your title and you can't get it done. It's kind of like
right.
Last year everybody thought it'd be the Lakers or the Nets, and then Milwaukee pulls the title out. Who basically they stayed their course. They built it the way that we're used to teams being built,
which is great. I love it.
It was awesome, and it's like they kind of just went through and did it. So I find that kind of interesting right now with them.
Yeah, because baseball becomes kind of like the major leagues.
Yeah,
like who can afford who? You get. By your team.
Yeah.
Although baseball's a little different because, you still got to perform. So whatever. You still got to hit the ball and field the ball.
Well, it's funny, and I think about baseball, a lot of people are mad about the Astros trying to steal signs. It's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of like, if you're out there trying to beat a team, once you try to do anything to your advantage, you can do. It's kind of like if you know how to count cards in blackjack, don't you count the cards to try to get your win?
Right.
So I can't be mad at the Astros for trying to steal signs because that's what they did. Don't make your signs as you're supposed to be. Oh, you're not supposed to do that, like a gentleman type thing. It's like you're in here trying to win a title. You're going to do whatever you can to get yourself the advantage. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. So. Let's see. Yankees are not the same. We're New Yorkers. We're special. The ring says it all. Haters are going to hate. Great road win for the Pack. Oh, definitely, I'm sure.
That was huge.
I was just doing the highlights. I saw J.J. Watt wasn't playing either. So, New York in my Frank Sinatra voice. Yeah. But it's just like it's sports. I mean, you're trying to get the advantage over. It's like – in football, when I did play, it was like, or anything you watch, even NFL players will tell you, they see a player that might have some type of injury and they're still in the field, they'll target that injury because they're trying to get the upper advantage on that person. So people can be mad at what the Astros did when they did it, but at the same point, they're doing it within the game itself. It's not like the stuff they had with the Patriots videotaping people. It's kind of like during the game, someone notices something, they catch it, they're going to share it with the teammates to try and get an advantage of that. Yeah.
Well, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, like,
and you're a baseball player, so you know this. So yeah.
Kind of that regards, like, it reminds me back when I coached a little bit of high school assistant coach back in the day. And I remember specifically one game we played like our arch rival at the team I was help coaching with. So I picked up on a sign from the opposing team, like every time he named, like, I can't remember if it was like the first name or the last name. Whenever he called it out, that guy was throwing a fastball.
Okay.
Like he was the pitcher. He was the pitching coach. Well, actually, I played for him in college. He was our pitching coach, or helped out some of our pitching in college.
Right.
So he was coaching the opposing team, or assistant coach of the opposing team, but he was in charge of the pitchers. So anytime he wanted a certain pitch thrown, he would, call out like the pitcher's last name or something. So I picked up on it. So I told our team, I was like, anytime I'll holler at you, I say like your first name, whatever. Come on, Bob, whatever. Like your fastball's coming, and it was so easy. Like every single.
That's
pitch,
how you adapt, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like every pitch, I knew it was coming. Like because I instantly picked up on the sign. After the game, he was pissed about it. I'm like, why are you mad at me for picking up on your simple ass like kindergarten school signs? Like you should have been more like in depth on that shit. Like like.
Right.
I played ball too. I know what you're doing. Like,
right.
Why are you mad at me for telling our players to get a leg up on what's coming? Like, why would you not do that? You know what I mean? Like, I see it as being like frowned upon, but if you pick it up, like, do better at hiding the signs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you were saying,
it's going to be a part of the game. It's like, man.
Exactly. Like, if you can still sign and it's coming, why would you not use it to your advantage?
Right. It'd be stupid for you not to do that. These guys are not the same Lakers as the Magic era. These guys, Eagles are huge. I don't think they'll run. No, I don't think so either. Showtime was the best time. Yeah, I mean, you had Magic and Kareem. Then later you had Worthy. You had Cooper. All those guys could play together. They all had their roles. They all shared the ball. They worked as a unit together. And, I mean, this team, you have a lot of individual. Westbrook wants to get his. LeBron probably wants to get his. Davis, you're not maybe funneling stuff in the way you can. It's a different type of league right now.
On the flip side, how do you think calls would go against, like, a Larry Bird or the Detroit Pistons of the Motor City Bad Boys or things like that where it's really rough and tough? You know what I mean? Like how would it go now?
If they play now, they'd be players getting ejected. I have no doubt.
What I mean. Like they wouldn't. I don't even know if they'd even last the whole game.
It's like I remember an interview they did with Deacon Jones in football, probably about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was. And they were asking him how he thought he would do in the league right now. He said, I couldn't afford to be in the league. He said, everything we did when we played football, I'd be fine going. Deacon created the head slap. So when the lineman came up, he would slap him in the helmet and his head would ring. You couldn't do that nowadays. There's different things that would happen on how they tackled and how they played. Yeah. Basketball is the same thing. And there's certain stuff. It's like, oh, my God, take LeBron and them and put them back in the 80s.
They wouldn't survive.
The way like Westbrook and them like cry about a foul, let them come down and lay on Lambeer and do that, or come down there against Robert Parrish, Robert Parrish or Kareem and them. They're like, "Oh, you want a foul?" And they'd lay you out like that's a foul. They would take one to show you what a foul was. Exactly. You didn't have a lot of that stuff happen. It was like when Michael Jordan played. It was like he would take the hits. He'd be like, "All right," and he'd come back and do his game to get up on you. He didn't whine about getting a foul call. He was going to come back and just bust your ass in one way or another.
That was the street ball carrying over to professionals. Like that's what it was. You grew up on this. I mean, that's all you knew. So like, why would it be different? Yeah.
So it's totally a different type of league now, and a different generation that has it. But it's like, every time you see someone go into the lane, you see him like look back at the ref like a foul wasn't called or something like that, and it's just like their guy is now down the court because they're not hustling back. It wasn't that way back then. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
Kind of, I would like. I mean, obviously for different sports, or whatever, like a time capsule. Like I would love to take a LeBron James now and put him back in the '80s when that shit happened, or early '90s when that stuff happened, and see like how good would he be? Like,
yeah, I think he was still.
No doubt the dude's skilled and is great, but like, how good would he be amongst like? You didn't get the crying fouls and calls or whatever. Like you didn't interpretate the outcome of the game like he does now. You know, like I don't know. He'd be half the player he is now. Honestly,
I think he would still have the talent there, but
no, there's no doubt about that.
I don't think you'd have to widen the foul calls as much because I think that would set you up to get tormented by the players. Like teams back in the '80s had players on their team that were just there to foul you, intimidate you after a point. Like,
yeah.
Well, I look back at the Atlanta Hawks when they had Tree Rollins. All I remember is Tree Rollins whipping people's asses. He didn't really score that much. He came out there and he would clothesline you or do something to you. But Tree Rollins was not a threat offensively. But if he would come out there and he would foul you, you would feel that. It's like, well, I'm not going back inside again with him being there, you know.
Every good team had that guy. I was like,
yeah.
He was the eraser. Like, what does he score? 2 points a game. Okay. How many rebounds he get? I don't know, maybe 3. How many fouls did he get? Oh, he fouls out every game because he's going to knock your ass down and make sure you don't score. You know, it's like, okay.
Well, you talk about, you go back to college even, you know, remember when John Chaney got chastised because he said about bringing in the goon, right? And it's like, oh, John Chaney's the only person that had a player that basically was in that role. Like all the college teams have players like that. They would talk about the whole hack and shack type thing. There's teams that were designed to come out and have certain players go in there just to foul the shit out of people, you know, to set a tone, to change the tone, whatever it may be. So it's just a different changing of what the game is now compared to what it was back then. And, you know, it's kind of like, and I look back even before the Magic time when they had other players. You go back to the 60s and 70s when they didn't have like the 3-point line. You look at people like Rick Barry and all these guys, Oscar Robertson are putting up all these points, and it was like
Pete Maravich.
Imagine if they had a 3-point line where they would be in the point totals and stuff too. So it changes. It changes over time.
Could you imagine like Pete Maravich if he had a 3-point line?
Oh, he'd have been crazy. It would have been.
He probably averaged 6 points a game.
Him, Oscar Robertson. Even back then, some of the other players, you know, from that earlier time, some of the early, you know, the Celtics there with the Bill Russell team. I mean, it was kind of like there would be so much more they could actually do. And remember, they like suspended even Duncan for a period of time. So imagine if Duncan was suspended. How many points like Bill Russell and them might have had even more and stuff like that as well. So.
Right.
It changes. It changes during time.
Right.
People forget that. And it's kind of like people. That's why I hear people say, well, he's the greatest of all time. Really? Like, you're in different eras. It's kind of like I can look at football, and to me, I think Barry Sanders is probably the best running back because he never really had a line. Like, if I put Barry Sanders on a line behind Emmitt Smith, what he had in Dallas in the 90s, I can't even imagine how much he would have crushed the record book behind Nate and all those guys. If I take Emmett and I put him behind what Barry had, I don't think Emmett's getting that record.
No.
Between what he had in Detroit. So
I agree with that.
Yeah, you have to look at the whole situation. I think like Jim Brown, you know, what he actually did is kind of like people forget over the years how good Jim Brown was, or Gale Sayers, Jim Thorpe, other players that people don't even know about that actually had these great careers. That you take them and put them in a different time frame, and they're crushing it even more than they did.
Well, plus you got to think back then, they only played 12 games in the regular season.
Yeah, 12 versus the 14.
That's when 1,000 yards was like, that was the marquee thing. Now it's still 1,000 yards. You're like, okay, now we play 17 games. Like, you're averaging like 70 yards a game. Like, is that really that good?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like they always talk about
that good.
They always talk about Miami being the only undefeated team, right? Well, Miami played a 14-game season that year. Technically, the New England Patriots probably had a better season than Miami did, even though they lost Super Bowl for the run they made for undefeated games. They lost that one against the Giants. Yeah, and people don't look at that. It's like, oh, well, we're the only one that made it through a season. Well, your season was a lot shorter. If we would have threw a couple more games in there, you may have had that loss take place.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, now you got teams that kind of take off the last week or so just because they don't want to get nobody injured. So
Right.
Which I don't think they did back then. but you also only play, like I said, 14 games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot different time. I mean, every sport has it, but still,
They said it's always interesting when people will say like the greatest. I think your better thing is like the NBA just came out with their top 75 players. I could see more of something like that, top 75 players that may have been the all-time NBA type team, But when you're looking at trying to break up different things and errors, it doesn't work as well. Kind of like
it's hard.
You look at what Joe Montana threw in as a quarterback in the 80s versus what Tom Brady throws in now, where you can't even blow past a quarterback with your breath and not get a penalty possibly.
Right.
You put Montana would have played now. Montana might have number of Super Bowls or more than Brady has.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, and you look at quarterbacks. If you always discount, like one of the people I always wonder, like why they discount so much, like Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw had 4 titles and 4 Super Bowls, and people never think about him. It was a different league in the 70s when it was run first, but he put up numbers as a quarterback as well, but he never gets talked about in any quarterback type situation. And I'm like, he performed well as a quarterback. He was a great quarterback. 4 Super Bowls. Lynn Swann, John Stallworth that he worked with, he had great running backs and all that stuff, but he had to, perform as well. But he always gets missed over as like a quarterback that was able to guide his team to titles. And back then, you had some of those quarterbacks calling their own plays and stuff too. So,
yeah. No, that's very true.
Yeah. So it's all, but that's the great thing about sports, right? It's always that conversation that takes place.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. Magic took a pay cut to get the team. Yeah, exactly. Magic did take that. And Jordan did. Jordan took a pay cut for him to get the team that they assembled out there, and they got paid later in the back end years for them to be able to have what he needed out there with Pippen and Rodman and stuff like that in the second run too. Hockey is my new go-to watch. Sport hockey is fun to watch. I like to watch hockey in person though more than on TV.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
It is competition, and I know there's a lot of excitement around the new Seattle team. I know Seattle Kraken, which after Vegas came in with their new team and won the title, that really took people by surprise. The guys have become more athletic and they're more money generators. They can't have them getting beat up. There's no 5'10" guards anymore. Money being made is crazy. Well, that's the thing. Money's involved in social media, marketing, basically the whole capitalistic type effect. But you had capitalism in the 80s. You had Magic Johnson out doing stuff. You had Larry Bird doing stuff. Dr. J. You had a lot of that stuff out there. It's bigger now, though, I think, for what they're doing. But the sport has changed. Football's the same way. You're right. As far as you can't have some of these players taking the hits they get because that hurts the appeal there. Tom Brady's not going to be playing for 3 or 4 weeks. Attendance might be down, So I think the NBA should have the same rules as NHL. Then I had to watch. NBA has decent rules, though. I guess I don't know. I don't see anything or read anything where it's kind of like any favoritism. It's more the whining of the players that gets me watching the NBA.
Yeah, I feel like the stars of today are more in charge. Like even over like the referees. Well, like James, for instance, he just cries until it kind of gets his way.
And I think that's what's going to hurt his legacy when they look back on James. It's kind of like he'll be seen as one of the probably the top 5 basketball players of all time, or like that and everything. But people are always going to say, yeah, but he always cried about fouls. Like Magic didn't cry. Yeah. Magic didn't cry about fouls. Bird didn't cry about fouls. Jordan didn't cry about fouls. They went out there and they settled on the court. They're like, okay, you're not going to give me that? All right, let's see what we do on this one then. And, they went out and handled their business. And when you see a player constantly throwing their hands up and whining about it, it takes it away from that person being a character.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I can say about James is when he left Cleveland, they were god-awful, and then went back. Then all of a sudden they were in the playoffs again, or went to the finals or whatever. So in that instance, like, okay, that might kind of stake his claim as far as one of the great ones, just because.
Well, he's the only one that lead a team back from down 3-1 in the series against Golden State.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that'd be a part of it. And again, he has the accomplishments. It's just I think that some
But
people will look through it to wine and it's being a negative on them.
yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what I don't like about him. Is like I don't like watching because if he doesn't get his call, like he's always crying. In the meantime, somebody's scoring, he's still complaining to the referee about it. Like,
now I'll say like
go down the court and play, like make it up somewhere along the line. I don't know.
Now I would say off the court, he's phenomenal in the stuff that he's actually doing and how he's raising awareness and the programs he's set up.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's one of my favorites for doing stuff like that. But on the it's just like, go in there, do what you do. Yeah, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get fouled. Like think about times like how many times Shaq got fouled with the hack and Shaq. And you know why. Shaq was, we all know, a terrible free throw shooter. But he went to the line, he shot his shots, but he would come back and try to dunk on your ass the next time. He didn't whine about it and that. He just kind of took it and stuff. And that's the kind of character you look at, like kind of in this thing. Like, okay, you're going to do that? Well, okay, we'll go and do this. And, Shaq did get better on free throws over time because he went back to practice, realized that was going to be taking place. But that's just part of it. Like, nobody wants to see you get out there and whine. They want to see you come back and overcome what took place.
And that's kind of the unfortunate part with LeBron James. Because for me, that's what sticks out to me is like, I don't want to watch him because I don't want to see him cry all the time.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because he is one of the greats. Like,
yeah,
there's no denying that. Like, but as far as entertainment and whatever, like, I don't really care to watch him play. Honestly, I don't really want to watch him play.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, like I said, I've watched games with LeBron, and he's made some amazing plays, and he's made some amazing shots. And when he's playing on the game, it's just there's times when he gets that, and when you see him look up and look back for like that foul call, that's just becomes weird and tiresome. And Westbrook does it as well, and other players. Yeah. Irving does, although Irving's not playing right now, but Irving does it as well. You see that
it's more the norm now than it was.
Yeah. And it's like the whole crying wolf type thing. You do it so much that people don't want to get the benefit of the doubt,
Right.
Right. Let's see here. A lot of athletes back then hung out and were drunk the night before. Now that's tolerated. Yeah, a lot of them did do that. Cowboys still was like no one would catch him. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm saying you get Barry Sanders, Cowboys, or Steelers line. That record book is like, I don't even know how high it's rewritten with them having a line like that behind them.
Yeah.
And again, it is not a takeaway from Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was a great running back. It's just you look at that set and what he dealt with and what Sanders had to deal with, and it's night and day on that along those lines. And so top 75 NBA players better not have Patrick Ewing. He's Tom Brady playing the play football league, right? Cheating bastard. That's the best of your time period.
Yes, you're not wrong.
I give respect to Tom Brady. Tom Brady showed me a lot over the last. To me, I felt like Joe Montana was the greatest quarterback that I saw. And over the years, and then with Tom Brady going down to Buccaneers and actually winning, Tom Brady, he's coming from that 6th round and that draft pick back in the day. He's proven himself over the years,
Yeah.
The knock on Brady is how much of it was him actually knowing what to do versus the early Super Bowl wins where we're still going to have that Spygate asterisk out there over the New England wins. They mentioned that the other day on one of the shows. The Patriots going to be early 2000s Spygate, How much did you videotape? Because you know what players are programmed to do versus not knowing. So, but as a quarterback, I mean, he seemed to not have any, most likely, take out Randy Moss because it was only a season, but he never really had a Hall of Fame receiver. Take out Gronkowski would be a Hall of Fame tight end, but that was later on. He never really had a Hall of Fame receiving set for the most of his career. He never really had a Hall of Fame backfield for most of his career. And he was able to get it done for the accomplishments he did. So it's hard to take away that from Tom Brady as well.
See, I was always on the other side thinking it was more of a systematic type thing, not so much Tom Brady. Until last year, it's like, okay, clearly winning the Super Bowl, like, yes, he's great.
Yeah.
And like New England without Tom Brady, like, it's not Belichick at all. It is always clearly Tom Brady.
Yeah.
For sure. Like,
Yeah.
but which is kind of unfortunate because being a Colts fan with Manning, Brady, kind of like head to head, like always hated New England, but never truly appreciated that. But now looking back, I'm like, okay, it was probably always Tom Brady from the get go.
Yeah.
Like he probably made Belichick's career.
Yeah.
Which is obvious from last year. Like he went to, which probably last year he had the best offense he probably ever had, at least receiving core wise.
Oh, his receiving core he has now is like, imagine if he had that in New England, he would have never probably fucking lost.
Right, yeah. Not to downplay Belichick, but I don't think Belichick's this great coach that everybody seems to make him to be. I think looking back, like Brady probably made Belichick who he was.
We remember
who he is now.
We remember the Cleveland years; they were not good for him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he was terrible in Cleveland.
Yeah, he was
you don't
terrible.
just go to another team and all of a sudden you become great. Like, it's
yeah,
not, yeah, and that's what makes me think is like Belichick was terrible in Cleveland.
And think about
Charles Barkley voice; it was terrible.
Yeah. Charles Haley coached with the little team for football way back. He's awesome, great man. His son, Charles Haley's awesome. I always appreciated him. I actually used to collect football trading cards, and I had some with Charles Haley as well. And he was the first one to get to like 6 rings as an NFL player and stuff. And him coming to Dallas in the 90s got them over the hump on that defensive end. And if you look at some of the old videos from back then, players even said Charles Haley was a big acquisition that helped them win those Super Bowls. Joe Montana, no doubt. Brady went to Michigan. I went to Michigan. We don't talk about him. He's an A-Rod. Well, the one thing about Montana, I'll say, is Montana called his own plays when he was under Bill Walsh and stuff too. They said so.
Yeah,
I don't know how much of that Brady actually does, but it was a different league back then as well, and you were taking more hits and you were doing different things. And again, it's time periods. You almost have to look at it that way now when you're trying to compare people.
I mean, you really do. Like you said, in any sport, it's different. You take like a 10 or 15 year time period and like chop it off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
every sport's so different now than it was back 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think it's midnight, so I think we're going to wrap this up because I know I got to go to work in the morning. I think you do too as well.
Yes, I do.
No matter us trying to keep it short, we never seem to do that. So, but always great conversation and different things that we get into. And like I said, this episode, you learned about the origin of the hamburger. Nobody expected that coming in. So,
I mean, where else can you get beer, hamburgers, wild game meats,
right?
Football, basketball, you name it. We cover it all.
Yeah, we cover it all here. Anything can be possibly in the realm for sure.
You know, when Shannon's here, who knows what you might learn?
Yeah, that's a bonus episodes there for sure.
You're right, yes.
But later, Dee and everybody else that tuned in, always appreciate you guys. Every Thursday, 8:45 Eastern, stop on in, toss one back with us, so we have a good time. Hopefully you guys have a good time on Friday, and look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Have a great weekend, and we are